Hey, hey, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. The patch notes arrived literally 90 seconds after I closed stream last night, which honestly was probably just as well because it meant I got to go to bed and go to work without being a tired piece of shit. But they're here and they're extensive. There's a lot. There's a lot. As is expected with the patch notes, like GGG like to keep a lot of cards close to their chest and leave a whole bunch of stuff for us to discover and figure out. So despite these being quite extensive, these are not going to give us a full view of all the things that are possible in the end game and all of the things that are going to be possible with the new crafting, the new uniques, how those lines are going to change, how things are going to adapt. We're not going to know any of that, but we should hopefully get a feel for the direction of the game a little bit more. And honestly, I've done a bit of pre-reading. I've cheated. They're not that bad. Like Life Leech took a absolutely massive hit, but I think it might still be just about viable for some stuff. And Energy Shield got hit, which has been expected for about 4 patches. So other than that, things are mostly good. Like some number tweaks and number changes, which will make a difference, but they're not like game-changingly bad. Like more multipliers have been changed to increased in a couple of places, that sort of thing. Cliff Notes. You know what we're going to start with? We're going to chat GPT the shit out of this. Oh, wow. Look, I mostly use ChatGPT for PoE, like you can see. Walk or drive to car wash. And sometimes to check if it's stupid. Summarize these for me. Make no mistakes. Hey, Yumdinger. Good to see you, man. We've got our talking beer ready. I figured like everyone's already done a nice sober review of the patch notes. You know, if you want a nice sober review that's very well put together and thought about, Gazzy or Ziz or someone has put that out there. I only get drunk and laugh at them. I'm. I found it. Yeah, Yumdinger. Yeah, yeah. That was the point of the question. Oh no way! Hey,
I'd like to make love to you tonight.
See you, man. It's early for you. So we've got some spark notes. How much of this is going to be completely wrong, though? It did that really fast. This actually looks probably kind of right. Oh, fuck it. There's my script for tomorrow's video. Evening Royal. I've probably got some much worse stuff in here. Most of it's PoE, but like Australian accent identification. Then my name. Full. Oh, it does that anyway in the bottom corner. Because it's a piece of shit. Wait. Can I stop it doing that? Can I make it like not show my fucking name? Like maybe don't dox me. Maybe show the nickname that I've got on there and not my actual fucking name. Why would you do this? When did you change this? What the fuck, ChatGPT? Am I gonna have to ask ChatGPT how to stop ChatGPT from showing my name? Security, don't show my fucking name. I'm literally the only person. Oh, fuck's sake. Definitely don't show my billing information. What are you fucking doing? Why? What? Just, like... No, you can't make it just hide your name. So I can't have my chats out and show you guys my silly chats without it showing my full fucking name. Fantastic. Please don't dox me. If you do, you can, but you have to send me beers. You can send me beers. I'll accept beers. They have to be nice beers. On this shit beer. I didn't realise that. This looks like it's probably done a pretty good summary. So, new league, Expedition being folded into Runes of Alder, Endgame Atlas massively reworked, new endgame progression, league mechanics get full storylines and revamps, 2 new Ascendancy classes, major power system, bleed on players is no longer increased while moving. Oh, I missed that. Leech is substantially reworked, yeah. You know what? It's got the major things. Like the major game-changing, the real function. You can read all those notes, but the one function that has changed substantially is Leech. Out of all those notes, that's the one thing that's like, this is fucking critically different and affects all the builds. I like a nice sour beer. I do. A real ale sour beer. Yeah, Leech is Giga nerfed. Would you describe Leech as, let's put it in quotes, Giga nerfed? Let's have a look. I've got it set to like professional and stuff, so it might not describe it as Giga nerfed. It might give me a really lame breakdown of it instead. Yes. It would call it Giga nerfed. There you go. The Clanker thinks it's Giga nerfed. Yeah, this is the one that I think is. This is a much nicer way of interacting with these patch notes than. I have actually read them in full. We can go and validate bits if you want. I read them at lunchtime. The key nerfs are one. Yeah, that only one leech instance per resource. I think that is going to be huge. Now, yeah, only activates the instance with the highest. Well, actually. What it. So a 200k comet on a blood mage with the new 20% of spell damage is leech. That would leech you your 40k, but you'd have to open up with comet, like pretty much. You wouldn't be able to get a leech build online until you had like really good gear, really good gear. No more instant leech. Banned. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, there's been. I don't know. Maybe it'll be balanced enough. Like it was really silly on Blood Mage, and like with the Covenant chest as well, where you were turning everyone into a Blood Mage. All right, let's have a look at the proper notes. Let's have a look at them in full. Let's have a read through them. I'm not really going to chat GPT them. So this is their biggest expansion ever. It's got all these things, which we know about. But what are they actually changing? The first thing's coming, of course, is the Runes of Alder League. You get a fresh economy. So, you know, all your stuff gets moved to standards. You can't go trading straight away and all that stuff. So in each Runes of Alder League, we're going to find the remnants. I'm not going to describe this. We've seen how it works, right? Let's go down to sort of how many things have been added when it comes to like crafts and that sort of stuff. So you unlock it in Act 3. There's 13 new alloy-based currency items, which are specific to this expansion. 13 new ancient runes. 13 mythical early game runes. 3 oh, what the fuck? 3 fluxes, which can be crafted from remnants to transform the resistances. Oh, holy shit. That's big. That's really good. People have been asking for that for ages. Like, that's one of the things people have been saying, oh, the crafting bench was so good because of basically these sorts of craft. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, this is the secret stuff that we're obviously not going to be told what all this stuff is now. This is the reason to go and play the game and get to the end game and find out what the fuck's going on, you know? So I'm really excited. I don't think they should give that level of detail, but I think they go into almost too much detail. I think they can go to this level of detail and it's basically the same. It's basically the same because if you don't give it all, it's kind of, mind you, there's enough interesting bits of information, right? And the numbers are fine. Oh, there. Oh, it's really bad. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, look. Look. We turn that way, it just catches. I was going to shave my hair off today, but then I forgot. I did. It's Friar Farm. Friar fucked. 15 message. It's really bad. It's really bad. Really, really bad. I need to shave it before I go on holiday. I can't go on a stripper boat looking like this. The stripper will laugh at me. I think half the guys on the boat are bald as well. I don't want to go on a stripper boat with 11 other men. I actually genuinely, like, real talk, I don't want to do that. Just sounds like really awkward. Don't know why. Just sounds really fucking awkward. Like, the stripper's gonna leave, and my boner's not. It's a bit shy of my head. I just could do. Wait, I think it's gonna be 12-1, Yumdinger. I think it's the old reverse Jesus. I think it's a 12-1 ratio. 12 people in the group chat. If it was an 18th birthday, I think I'd handle it. Double that age, I'm a bit like, a bit over it. Yeah. I won't be like looking at boners all night. It's a lot. Right, so we've got 15 meta crafting runes. We've seen some of these, like the I think this was it the Chronomancer's rune of taking up inventory space, where you could put it on the boots and then put it into the boots, and then you were re-rolling like cooldown recovery and stuff onto boots. So I bet that those metacraft, there's probably going to be one. There's probably going to be like loads of different lines that you can put onto things. We might be able to do some really silly craft. Yeah, Chyla's probably quite good. There's some of the buffs to Chyla actually look quite good. I do. I still don't think it's going to compete with Invoker. Well, it might. No, I don't think it's going to compete with Invoker, really. Not on defensives. Yet to see what martial artist. Did they say if you can put the rune that... I'm friends with benefits. I kind of like to make love to you. Oh, it does it again. Did they say if you can put the rune that takes a unique modifier into martial artist rune tree? No, I don't think you can put it into that rune tree. No, I think the martial artist can only take the basic runes, like iron runes and that sort of stuff. I think. But I don't know where I'm getting that information from now. I'm getting it from one of you guys saying it in chat. You reckon 80% getting a hidden mastery? It fucking launches and swords are there. No, that's not happening. No. It's gonna be Shadow. No. gonna be that either. Yeah, but they've done that a few times, haven't they? Because there was the lich, the abyssal lich, and then the sorceress, Jin sorceress, right? That's been the two hidden ones so far. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's another hidden one. I think that's cool, man. I think adding that sort of stuff and having ways to find it, I think is really cool. Did they drop it a day before release? Did they drop it a day? I can't remember. This is being a stoner, man. I'm gonna get my hat. You've made me self-conscious. I'm wearing shorts today. They look full legs out. Look at that. The fucking socks pulled up as well. It's really hot in the UK. I don't know why it's like this today. I don't know why it's doing this to me. What the fuck is what? What, my pulled up socks? What do you mean? You gotta pull the socks up, man. Gotta have them all the way up. I don't know. I was wearing jeans earlier. I only changed to shorts just before I turned stream on. I probably had my socks pulled up normally. Do you not wear socks? Like, do you not like? Do you not own socks? Yeah, it's 23. It says 23. 23 and always sunny and fucking. God damn it. Yeah, 23 and sunny. And it's only going to get hotter tomorrow and the day after. Well, I'm not getting bare feet. I would go bare feet, but my floor is fucking disgusting. So that's not happening. Not happening. What would be a 10 out of 10 idea would be getting off my fucking lazy ass and cleaning the floor. Then I could walk around stockless. Or I could get a pair of what they called Crocs, like they wear in Idiocracy. Ooh. Saying that, I got shoes. I got dad shoes. I don't know what shoes my dad gave me. My mum gave me on behalf of my dad. They're not good. Right, neither are actually. Oh, those. I'm lessing. Neither of them are sandals. I think my mum would have thrown out anything like sandals of my dad's. Given that she's probably never seen a new pair of sandals or anything ever. So I've got those. I've got military boots. I'm not wearing those. They've probably got spiders in them. So what else are they added? 60 runes that can be created by destroying a unique. 60 plus runes. You'd say that's between 60 and 70, right? But that's not actually that many lines. Yeah, I haven't been to Amsterdam yet, dude. Going to Amsterdam next Friday. It's a week till I go. I miss Go Live. I missed the launch. I'm back on the Sunday night. Yeah, I've been there twice. The last time I went, though, was for my dad's 60th birthday. It was 9 years ago. So, and the time I went before that was with my first wife. Actually, that makes it sound like I had a second ex-wife. Hey, Doris. Yeah, I've been a couple of times. I have. Well, I keep ribs. Man, I'm going to probably just subsist off some burgers from McDonald's. I would imagine. 15 runic ward runes. I don't know about the runic ward. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. Obviously, it's going to be used to power these new skills. Also, I started out, but normally I just troll people on Twitter, and my Twitter account's not connected to anything on my YouTube because I don't want it to be. So you guys would just get me cancelled, being a terrible human being. But I was talking to someone about PoE 2 on it earlier today, and they were saying, why is this, the thread would basically started like, why has no one done a dive into these skills? And then me being a prick, I was like, well, because what the fuck are we going to say about them? And then we got talking about one of them. I facetiously said, like, healing runes, it's probably going to, like, do damage to you or something. And then we started talking about it. And actually, some of these might be... We might have to think about what they could do based on the names. Like, it's not... They don't just make up random fucking names that don't make any sense. Like, healing runes was the one I ended up debating with the guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if when you use a skill that uses your ward, it would convert some amount of the ward into health, or it would heal you, or something like that. Some sort of things like that. Concussive runes, I think they've shown. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll probably have to. Depends how much information they give. I will go martial artist, but my league start theory craft will probably be on Invoker, just because I know how it works. I might do it for martial artists as well if it makes enough sense. But I think the bells coming back. We're doing something with bells. It's going to be a don't. Yeah, we're doing something with bells. I've already got planned out. Mostly planned out. I know they buffed bells. We're going to get there. You can place 3, and you can place 3 at once because they can be ancestral boosted as a strike, and an ancestrally boosted strike hits 3 targets, or the same target 3 times, which means you're going to place 3 bells at once with an ancestrally boosted bell. It's just going to go ding, 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 and then you're just going to go, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. You'd probably run that instead of overabundance as well, which means that you're not going to get the reduction in... You don't get the reduction in how long they last. It's like 50% skill effect duration. That you get for overabundance, 40% I think for overabundance too. Yeah, boss DPS. And then if you did that with martial artist, I don't know how it would work if you did a setup with the channel to get the channeled mobs to put down, the channeled clones to put down bells. And then you just went at those bells with Gathering Storm. I don't know if you might be able to start like a 4-second one-shot pretty easily. I'm surprised they haven't fucking gone at Falling Thunder. Like, Falling Thunder power charge stacking is still a completely valid way to one-shot bosses. Unless they've jacked up the boss health. Yeah, absolutely. Go, Monk. Hey, Thurlock. I was Monk. Which is just a monk build if I'm looking for an easy time campaign, early maps. I do have a monk build on Mobalytics that's for League Start, and I will go and change it, but Monk's notoriously difficult with quarterstaff skills through campaign at the moment. It doesn't come alive until like level 14, 15. The first 15 levels are a bit rough. You have to sort of position yourself and then be casting the ice crystals the right way to backflip in the right direction, and it is a bit technically fiddly. And it is a bit technically fiddly. It's why people don't like it. It's not because there's not a good build there. It's just fiddly to fucking play. It is. It's just a bit of a shame. Whereas a minion build, you know, minions go brrr and you just run. But Hollow Palm's a very cheap build, right? You can do it very cheaply. Yeah, Monk with Lightning Arrow works. Or that works. Or just, as it says in my guide, I think I just wrote get good in the guide. I didn't quite write that. I actually think I wrote in the guide, you know, consider using Lightning Arrow because it's just better. I would actually say you only need to go until about level 15 with it. As soon as you've got Ice Strike with Temper Spell, you can pretty much just nuke the fuck out of anything. But it's Storm Wave at level 23? I can't quite remember now. As soon as you get Storm Wave, that's when it's just fucking easy mode. Just blow everything up. Glacial Cascade sucks, yeah. Glacial Cascade sucks. But I was watching... Well, no, it doesn't suck. It actually doesn't suck. I watched a guy that dies basically win the entire game just using Glacial Cascade. He was like chunking Doriani for about 40k with his Glacial Cascade. It was nuts. It was. Is Lightning Arrow dead now? Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that might suck. Yeah, that's not good, is it? That's not good at all. Is that in a bug? I was a skill check. I thought it was a bug fix for a second. I was like, surely not. Oh, no, I don't smile when I see nerfs. I don't. I don't. Unless they're I don't feel like... Was that necessary? Was that a necessary nerf to Lightning Arrow? Is Lightning Arrow that fucking broken? I played it one league. It wasn't that fucking broken. It was the first character I ever got to level 100. But, is that broken? No, everyone picks it up because Fubgun plays it. But the Twisters build, you can fucking one-shot bosses in the campaign, like, all the way through. That's broken. That hasn't been touched. That's proper broken. But that's got the... Lightning Arrow is just popular. It's just been popular for four leagues, because, you know, it's a nice play style. You don't have to invest in defenses if you're playing as much in defenses if you're playing a ranger and that sort of thing. I think some of the Calguran skills can enable a lot of these skills to be broken. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly some of the Calguran stuff might really do some really mad stuff. There are 21 skills. We got no idea what any of them do. I think they've showed 2. Ah. Yeah, that's massive, by the way. That's I haven't seen anyone pick up and talk about how massive this is. Can anyone tell me what it doesn't work with today? Quiz for the class. Does anyone know what Hollow Palm stops? What doesn't work with Hollow Palm? It's one. Milk's mum! At least I got an answer. That's like the fucking class cloud. Milk's mum! No, it's the shockwave from charge staff doesn't work. This will fix that. So the shockwave from charge staff doesn't work. The projectiles from staggering palm, the projectile side of that doesn't work with hollow palm. It doesn't scale the damage. And there's a couple of other things where the secondary effect of the skill doesn't get affected by hollow palm at the moment, and it basically just means a load of skills become completely pointless, and it means that there's a transition point from hollow palm that I think is a lot earlier than it needs to be, just for like screen clear and like using more fun skills. But that looks like that'll be fixed. That's really big. That's really big. Yeah, heralds as well. No, you're not wrong. Heralds as well. You're not wrong, Thurlow. You're not wrong. I hadn't even thought of those. This is a massive fix to hollow palm. It's huge. I thought that was by design because it had been like that since for so long, but yeah. And there's probably other things that will be quite good with as well. I wonder if that'll work with the shield. Where's the shield? Oh, yeah. It's not. It's not. Requires unarmed. It won't work. It won't work for shit. Won't work for shit. Doesn't that mean that Hollow would now proc hot HY? Yep. Yep. Kevlar. Yep. Yep. All those things that don't work with Hollow Palm today. That you go, oh, fucking staggering palm's a load of shit because the projectiles hit for like fucking 300 damage. They'll be hitting for proper damage, man. Hollow palm will be like, it'd be the way to go for a monk opener. There's no point unless you find a good quarterstaff. You can use your currencies on like defenses and stuff. I would say. Yeah, you're gonna figure it out more than me, man. I'm going purely on theory here, but that is a big change. A big fix. It's not a change. It's a fix. Which means you might be able to get like loads of stun going off with staggering palm and stuff. So one of the things that it didn't do very well was the projectiles from staggering palm. I think they. No, they don't do anything towards stun. Actually, ignore me. It was, yeah. I was running some numbers on the new martial artist gods Hollow Palm, and it seems like you'll be able to get close to body armor levels. Yeah. Yeah. You reckon that flat is going to be multiplied? Do you? Because that's fucking nuts. Yeah, if those flats are multiplied, that when you're level 100, you're going to get plus 300 evasion and plus 100. It is your character level, isn't it? It's your character level, yeah. You're going to get plus 300 and plus 100. Dude, you could just put them on like a flat ES base as well, and then go everything else EV. Run on the Runic Ward and the ES, because you're not going to be able to recover that properly now. Use Ghost Shards, go up to like 30k evasion, get as much deflection as you can, and Ghost Shard is going to pop up your... Every time you get hit, Ghost Shard is going to full pop up your shield, which would be like, what, 1,500 maybe? Just bam, shield is recovered, bam, shield is recovered, bam. And then as long as you've got like 2k life and maybe, what, like 800 ward, providing numbers don't change too much, you're going to be at that 4,300 sweet spot to hopefully not get one-shot by shit, as long as you're res capped. And then everything else, you can just go full offense. Start one-shotting bosses. Monk's going to be sick, this league. Monk's going to be really good. Yep. Yeah. Staggering Palm is really, really good for campaign. It's a shame to not be able to use it. And yeah, Wind Blast, yeah. So yeah, that's cool, man. Those are some nice bug fixes, but that's a bit more of a monk focus. I'm trying to stop. Yeah, there might be some stuff in here. I think the real question, Kevlar, is: are we going to get the monk martial artist video this evening, or not? I think we might. There is so much fucking stuff in here. Like, I glossed over a load of this earlier. I think I might have just done a Control F on some things. Yeah, maybe. I saw Gazzy say something about Infernal Legion, but I think he said it's bad, but it's good. It's good, but it's bad. Or something. I think they've nerfed the interaction. I think they've fixed the interaction where you could weapon swap and make them constantly explode. I think that's what they changed, but I didn't mess around with that tech myself, so I'm not entirely sure how the tech works, and two, Gazzy talks really fast sometimes. He talks as fast as I do. So excited. They're not going to Yumdinger, they're not going to release those. They're for us to go and find, dude. They'll be data mined as soon as the patch is out. They'll be data mined, but they won't be released in patch notes or anything. They might release a few examples, maybe in a video. They'll be like, here's some of the Gemling's sexier things. And then they'll show us some really lame ones. Evening. How's it going? The Exile files release the files, man. No. No. They released stuff all through last weekend. They released stuff every day. And over the weekend, it was like on schedule as well at what would have been like 9 o'clock in their morning. So, about 2 hours from now. So we'll keep an eye out, see if they release some videos tonight. But yeah, I don't know enough about the Infernal Legion tech. It sounded like it had been nerfed because of, or fixed, or changed in some way that means that it's not going to do what it was being used for. But I would have to. Maybe when we get down there, you guys can help explain it to me. I'm not a minion enjoyer. They make the screen all cluttered. But yeah, so we've got 21 new skills, 8 new supports. They're all going to be broken because they're only here for this league, right? All this shit's going to be worth looking at to see what it does. If we get that, hey man, I've got through 20 of the patch notes. It's only taken me 35 minutes. We chat GPT'd it. I had to get a beer. I got distracted talking about Amsterdam. All right. I'm still not fully in Path of Exile headspace. I'm still like just, you know, the fog hasn't claimed me yet. I haven't spent enough time in the fog. I'm still sane. Exile. No, that's the problem. Expedition Remnants has changed into the Remnants. Yeah. So Expeditions are going to change. That's fine. I didn't really like Expeditions anyway, so hopefully this gives me an opportunity to actually interact with the... Honestly, I think I've probably done 20 Expeditions over the whole year. 2 years. Right, Nathan. New endgame story. We're going to go explore the ocean. We are going to be pirates of the Caribbean. Jack Sparrow is going to lead us on a mighty adventure. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be like that song, the Lonely Island song with Michael Bolton. We're going to sing that. Have a good time. And then basically a bunch of changes, right? Like, this is different rewards and how the league mechanic's going to work. It's going to be challenges. We're going to be able to get the Knight of Aldur armor set. It's going to be lovely. Old characters are being moved over. You know, normal stuff, right? We're getting a fun new league mechanic. There's 30 new skills. Great. The end game now has fixed points of interest at specific locations. All league mechanics on the Atlas now have quests that will guide us through up to the first time we fight a pinnacle boss. That's going to be really, really good for new players. And good for players that perhaps get to the end game and go, what the fuck do I do now? Like, there's some sort of pre-planned, pre-canned content for you into the end game that's going to steer you into, like, do you want to keep playing this league or not? And that's really nice. All pinnacle bosses now have their quest versions that can be accessed deterministically alongside repeatable non-quest versions that offer a greater challenge. So you're basically going to get... It sounds like we're getting 2 tiers. You're getting your, like, fucking campaign dad gamer version, and then your "you are not prepared" version. Exhibition apparently got a bit of a nerf called his Dreamcore. Oh, did it? I actually trust what Dreamcore says. He's a pretty good analyst of this sort of stuff. Clean up spawn tweet explosion 1 by 1. Yeah. Hey, Farham, by next Wednesday or Thursday, you'll be ready to go. Yeah, I will. Raring to go to Amsterdam. I think by the time I think when I'm on my flight home from Amsterdam on the Sunday after you guys have been playing for 3 days, I think then I'll be fucking raring to go. Then I'll be all fired up. Oh, well, that's kind of blocking my excitement a little bit. But I'm interested to theory craft out a monk. I am. I haven't actually done that before. Just off the sort of without a very hands-on sort of tester. And then I start to doubt myself until I've done that hands-on testing. Even though I'm a fucking developer, like it should just be like, nah, it's fine. But, yeah, there we go. Join Milk. Milk will be staying on until he gets the maps. I think he's ordered himself 30 cans of White Monster. In fact, what are they all doing? This fucks. Where are they all? No, they might be like, he might be with his girlfriend. Reveal on the 28th. All right. The Origins of Divinity, the endgame overhaul. This is where we're getting the new Arbity, right? That's right. I'll be thinking of you guys. I'll send you some updates. I'll jump in voice on Discord or something. Have a good time. So, new endgame storyline. The Cataclysm of the Beast has invoked an ancient protocol designed to scour for and purge corruption should it ever take hold to this degree. What the fuck is this? Like the engineers or something? The old ones, they came and built they built the pylons of Cadia in case the fucking Eye of Terror ever opened up. Anyway, we've got to go protect Cadia. If Cadia falls, the whole of the Imperium falls. So we've got to get to the fortress, stop the Blackstone Fortress from crashing into it. I think that's what it's saying. On completion of your first tower, a fortress will rise. It's not the only thing that's going to rise. Maps inside the fortress grant one or more passive points. This entirely replaces the previous method of gaining Atlas points. I think that the Atlas, I'm really excited for the Atlas, actually. It looks really good. The Atlas tree has been significantly expanded. Significantly. With over 300 nodes, after completing all the maps inside the fortress, you will gain enough passive points to fully allocate the Atlas tree. There's obviously still going to be, because you've got all those multi-select nodes, there's going to be ways to set up an optimal Atlas tree. It's not going to change that much. It's just not going to make you feel like it's incomplete, I suppose. It'll feel like a nice completion thing when it's all lit up. Even running it and see if you can do it in under an hour. I think Danny's got his time down to about 48 minutes. And he's almost as old as the things he fucking studies. Come on. If he's there, he would have heard that. Yeah, right. So entire Atlas tree can be changed. Many maps in the fortress have ancient modifiers that add or modify content to the map. Any maps with modifiers that add secondary content to the map also implicitly add that content to the map as well. There could be some like nice juicy ways to get some juicy maps in there. Added 40 plus ancient modifiers that have a chance to appear on any. They might be those things that we were seeing. I kept seeing those fucking dots everywhere. Fucking hell, the markers to say that there's pre-canned content in the map on all the videos. It must be those. 40 plus different modifiers that can just randomly appear. That's cool. It does make. I think I need to get the idea of being able to set up targeted farms that are like really explicit. I think that needs to get out of my head because this game doesn't feel like it's going in that direction. Every time, and they've even said this in interviews, what they want is for like the different content that's like overlapping into the map to really make the map feel like unique and special and stuff. And Jonathan said that a few times as the design choice, and it does seem that what they're doing is adding more random things that can happen together. Hey Nate, how's it going? Yeah, yeah. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not like it's not PoE 1, right? But this isn't PoE 1, so that's okay. I think that's okay. You can force league content but not map around stuff. Yeah, yeah. So sometimes your maps will be a bit special because there's going to be a bit of something else added to it that's your reward for exploring this atlas, you know, and that there is something out there in the darkness and a reason to go looking. But it shouldn't be so. I think the towers were too much, right? The towers were, if you don't run the towers and the tower configurations, you might as well not run the maps at all. Like being able to juice a map, like 90% of your map juice should come from, if they're going to keep, in my opinion, if they're going to keep this Infinite Atlas, I think 90% of your map juice should be deterministic by you, either through, at the moment it's putting tablets in, right? But tablets, scarabs, fucking chaos slamming, corrupting, whatever it is you're actually doing to the map object before you put it in, or putting items in with the map objects. And then maybe like 10, 15% should come from, there should be this bit above that you can get with like the right random modifiers and things from the Atlas, but it shouldn't be where the majority of your map difficulty or rewards are coming from. I don't think it should just be like, oh shit, if I run this one, it's going to be like this fun thing might happen or something, rather than it being how you juice them. You know what I mean? And that would be interesting. 5-hour fucking campaign runs. Bullshit. Dude, I'd be lucky if I could do the campaign in 7, I reckon. If I went and did the campaign now, I reckon it might take me 7 hours. If I was to do it right now. I don't think I could get it. Well, no, actually, no, saying that, I did it in about 6 last time I did it. But I haven't run it for ages. It'd probably be 7 hours. Yeah, probably play martial artist, to be honest. I really want to see what the unique gloves do in the end game, and if I don't like it, I can always play it as an invoker, and I do like playing invoker. So, and it works for a league starter, so I've got that fallback. You reckon 8 to 9? I don't think 5 hours is insanely fast anymore, Jamie. I don't. I think that's becoming almost, well, it's a slow time for the people that talk about it a lot. You know? Like there's a lot of content creators have been getting coached by the speedrunners recently, and they're all following some good coaching. They've been able to put in very, very good times on getting through the campaign, and I think 5 hours is becoming almost normal for a content creator. I think for a lot of them, I wouldn't be able to fucking do it. I was seeing Farmer struggling a bit. Yeah, I know. What skills they use to speedrun? It seems fucking Twisters is order of the day at the moment. Seem to be able to one-shot just about everything with Twisters these days. There's some crazy builds going on, but honestly, if you want to look at speedruns and speedrun tech and what they use, check out Guy That Dies. Recently had his drama for being Guy That paywalls, but now he's Guy That doesn't double down, and it's okay. But yeah, he's got some really good videos about speedrunning and that tech, and he does explain it very well. And Gormus, I think, has got videos going into loads of his speedrun tech and the skills he uses, and probably some others as well. I hate calling people out by name when they're doing something that good because I feel like I'm missing people. Crimson Casts, he voices over it, but he's very knowledgeable. Yeah, and Gormus is very good. As a Twister Andy, I'm a bit sad that it got so popular. Yeah, well, I'm going to say this, but Snoobey's been playing that build for a fucking long time. He's been playing that build for a long time. And everyone, I've seen people calling it Fub Guns build and all sorts. Snoobey's been playing that and making videos on it. And he was doing tier 16 super juiced abyss maps in 0.3 with it, where he was going around the map and his entire fucking screen was just twisters. It was just this blur of twisters. There were so many of them. There must have been about 100 fucking twisters coming off every time he cast them. It was nuts. Thank you for following. Yeah, so I like, yeah, that was his build. Yeah, no, is it? Yeah, I think 0.2. Yeah, he was. Panda, he was. He was going around the map like lightning. I think we absolutely know what Snoobey's going to play. I as soon as, yeah. Saying Twister is a fun build is like saying minions. Yeah, but which minion build? Kind of minions. What kind of minion are you? It's great for speed level the campaign tweak it. Yeah. But it's Twisters seems to come online with very little investment by about, I don't know, it seems like level 14. By like the end of Act 1, it's like super online. And yeah. Yeah. So what are we getting anyway? 40 new ancient modifiers, more gateway maps, more precursor tower maps, new precursor tower maps. Ooh. That's nice, because the current tower maps, they got better. If they're better again, that'd be nice. The burning Arbiter of Ash has moved in with his boyfriend in the burning monolith in the fortress. Added 2 new Citadel maps. Oh, cool. Are we getting Act 5? Are we getting Act 5? Are we going to get a secret drop of Act? Do you reckon no chance? If there's one bit of copium that I might have, it's not even. It's not. I don't. I wouldn't care whether they released it or not. So I guess it's not really copium or hopium. I think there's enough. There's enough little hints. Well, a Citadel boss right now. You've got Geonor, man who wears corpses as a skirt. Doriani on a bad day. We're gonna get I would imagine we'll get like what's he called? Oh fuck, I can't remember the names because they're so. The guy from Act 4 as one of them. So who's going to be the fifth? Who's going to be the fifth? Fifth Citadel boss. We need Act 5 to have a fifth Citadel boss. No, I'm just winding you up. Tavaki, thank you, Jamie. Whenever you're in the chat, I always actually start asking my lore questions and waiting for the answers because I know you'll answer. I know the answer. They did have the Act 5 there, yeah, but I don't know. I think it's copium. It's copium, but as you said, and I'd forgotten, they released the Jin thing, the other ascendancy, just before the day before go live, didn't they? Last patch. Jamie, stop helping his muddled brain. What do you mean? I can't remember these fucking names anywhere. I wouldn't remember them even if I was sober. I wouldn't. Even if I was sober all the time, I wouldn't remember this. Speaking of, so you might have a grandparent or known a grandparent, but sometimes when people get old, they forget people's names, and you'll see them go through a list of names before they get to the right name. And I got this cousin she's kind of fat, and our nan had cats, and she had a cat called Pooh. She had a cat called Tigger. She had a cat called Piglet. She forgot my cousin's name. And the name she landed on first was fucking Piglet. And she was this chubby, like 11-year-old at the time. Oh man, everyone died. My uncle was not happy. She cried. Me and my dad laughed, which was not helpful. That made it much worse. Much, much worse. Yeah. My nan also had a cat called Oedipus. If you don't know who that is, Google it. Fantastic name for a cat, don't get me wrong. Really, really, like, but not when it, yeah. He did. No, Oedipus killed his father and did marry his mother. He didn't want to. He fucking did. That's what he did. He did some patricide and then some incest. He did all of the major crimes. Oh no, Royal. Right, so we're getting a new arbiter thing, aren't we? Everything's moving around. We've got a new super pinnacle boss. We're gonna get this new fortress to explore. It's gonna be lovely. It'll be fantastic. It's gonna be the best fortress. It's gonna have the best walls. We're gonna make the arbiter pay for the walls as well. We won't be spending our divines on the walls. It might be exile labor that does the work, but it's gonna be the arbiter that pays for it. Right, Masters of the Atlas. We've seen a little bit of this, and I don't think they're, again, this is one of the things that they're holding it back from us, but so I don't want to read every line by line, but we've got those 3 new Atlas Masters. It's going to be, it looks like a quick and simple way to sort of easily specialize, fucking hell. Specialize. I've turned it to Sean Connery. Specialize your maps based on what you want to do. So I think one of them looked like it was better at boosting bosses. One of them was, yeah, we'll have to have a see. I'm sure I'm sure it'll be fine. If the payers could loot, I'm fine with doing the work. There we go. Now, this is actually what I'm most excited about, because I fucking love the fog. The fog is my favorite mechanic by a golden mile. Don't know why. I just really like it. You have to jack the fog jacks the difficulty right up. Like right up. Like everything's a fucking one shot. Everything tanky as fuck. Your character needs to be on fire to run it. I love the fog. So anyway, we've got a new storyline. We've got new storylines for everything. There is a no hub called the Whomping Willow, where you will protect Harry from Dementors. No, different fantasy genre. New hub area called the Withered Willow for Delirium to the southwest of your starting location on the Atlas. The maps around this location will count deliriums. They're called deliriums? They contain deliriums? Can deliriums be a plural? And give you points for the Delirium Atlas passive tree. It's been completely revamped. We got a whole new stuff to explore there. After breaking a mirror, there is now a progress bar, so we've actually got a UI so that we can see how we're doing in terms of being able to sustain our fog and how much time we've got left and all that. That's going to be awesome. I love those UI changes. New set of delirium encounters that can be seen on the delirium bar. Reaching certain depths will cause coloured mirror shards to appear. Walking into the mirror shards will break them. So we're getting new encounters. The more you do, the more rewards you get. The harder you push the difficulty up, the more rewards you get. Fantastic. Map bosses are always going to be 100% delirious. They've added some new... Ooh. Is that sub-area... The Losa Maya sounds like it might have taken the place of the Calandra's special map. What do you mean we can skip this section, man? The fog, dude. This is the fog. The fog is where it's at. We can't skip the fog. This sounds like it might be a replacement for the Calandra's area at the moment, which is a bit shit. Yeah. Basically. I love the fog. Liquid emotions can be used to craft additional mods on jewels. Like, jewels are always high-end sale items as well. I don't think Delirium is the place to start for early currency. I think you do want to start in Breach. I think you want to start with Breach. Everyone wants amulets and rings first before they want jewels. If I remember my Path of Exile economy correctly. I don't know, Jamie. No, but it sounds like, but the reward from it is a amulet that has notables at the cost of either a... Oh no, that's a different type of amulet completely than the mirror one. I read that completely wrong. You get 2 notables at the cost of either -1 suffix or -1. You get 2 notables? For just 1 suffix or prefix? That's insane. That could be very good. Liquid emotions can now be used to craft additional mods on jewels. But yeah, I mean, expedition's going to be the one to go for, right? It's the league mechanic, but at the same time, it's it might also be overfarmed at the start. People might not be doing the other things. Completing delirium mirrors will now spawn delirium mirrors. Oh yeah, so when you do mechanics in your maps, it's going to like spread mechanics to other areas of your map and stuff like that. I think that's going to be, we're going to see something similar to that as we go through every endgame mechanic. After triggering the Try of Madness, Hulk spreads out. On reaching 100%, the simulacrum will become available. This bit's pretty good. Deliriousness can continue to be increased to up to 200% delirious. So the cap at the moment is... It's not 200%. I've not seen 200% delirious on it. And 150. You get 150 on a map with triple isolations. That's what you used to be able to get. And that was hard, but it was doable. But 200% delirious, that's going to be a way you can probably seriously test your characters in terms of defense and offense. That's going to be nuts. And deliriousness does give you more rarity of items. And I have no idea how that multiplier factors in with all the other multipliers, because I never ever got round to testing it in any real way when we were doing the rarity tests a couple of leagues back. This will be something Danny and I will be trying to target test, I think, as best we can. Probably not just Danny and I, there'll probably be a bunch of us looking at this, trying to figure out what's going on with rarity. Yeah, that's good. That's a good change. Anything that gives more power and more reason to build like super hardcore characters is good in my books. So that's fun. Rare and unique monsters and delirious maps now have a new set of delirious modifiers, giving them strange new abilities. You want to come and fucking tell you they're proud of you or something? Make you cry? Maybe, Frank. Not sure. Ooh, the strange. The map boss of Delirious can drop 3 new potent emotions that can be used to craft new powerful modifiers on jewels that are not available in the jewel mod pod. Mod pool. Mod pod? They could be interesting. We're not going to see information about them until they release, so it could be some game-changing stuff, right? Or definitely some ways you can tweak and perfect your power into the end game. So good to see that there is that sort of stuff coming in to the other mechanics. Hey, Milk, how's it going, man? It sounds like it's going to be fun as fuck working through all of the new stuff. Yeah, exactly, right. I'm kind of glad with the amount of information they've given. I don't want it all to be spoiled. Did the delirious monsters sit on... Yeah, they did, yeah. Gave it the old... This fucking stranger. You happy with the notes for builds? Not? Yeah, I am, yeah. Nothing changes, really, for my Invoker League starter. Other than should you go martial artist, which I just don't know yet. But I wouldn't change anything from my last league start, really. It was fine. It's perfectly... I could do all the content, could get everything unlocked. And it was basically SSF friendly up until the point where I wanted to turn all the numbers up to silly. I wouldn't change away from something like that. Yeah, the notes are good. So Simulacrum's been... Oh, it's now... What? More runes in the Rune League. Hey, you heard you like runes, so we put runes on your runes so you can rune while you rune. Simulacrum being a 7-wave encounter. I missed that one first time round. That's nice. Completing Simulacrum will now give you a key to face the Pinnacle boss. Oh. That's where Voices is going to come from. Someone mentioned it earlier. Hey, have a great... Hey, you were here at the start. Oh, you went. Other people were naming the great. Hey, how's it going? I thought I honestly I thought the message opened. I thought the message opened with you. I thought my stream opened with your message today. I don't know why. I thought you sent a message before it started. Happy Friday. Cheers. There is now a set of 10 ancient emotions that can drop if unlocked by the Atlas tree, which can be used to craft time lost jewels. And then to change the lines on them, there are also 3 ancient potent emotions that can be used to craft. Yeah, but they've already said. Didn't they? Wait, what? Didn't they? 3 potent emotions, 3 ancient potent emotions. Are these the same thing? Oh yeah, no, they're not the same thing. That's time lost jewels. Wow. There could be an awful lot of cool stuff that's coming out of some non-amulet delirium uniques now drop with the Raven Touch modifier, allowing them to be instilled. Like Collapsing Horizon. Collapsing Horizon is a really fucking good quarterstaff for how common it is. Like, really good. It does a surprising amount of damage. I've got some videos breaking it down compared to, like, rares. And showing the damage numbers and what it's capable of and how it can still one-shot stuff. If you could then, like, instill something on it as well, that could be interesting. But it says some and not all, so let's just assume it's probably not all. Alright, Breach. We get a new storyline. Woo! Genesis Tree. Did anyone play Path of Exile 1? What's going to be better, Whirlwind Assault or probably Whirling Assault, to be honest. Whirling Assault's very, very good, especially with all the new area nodes that are around the Monk start. I would say. Yep. Got a Breach storyline. Fantastic. Everywhere gets a storyline. There's somewhere on the Atlas tree where we do it. Right. There's reaching 100% of this. Yeah. Starting a Breach now shows a progress bar. So, look, we've basically got a similar set of the first few, right? You've got a UI change. You've got a story. Everything is good. Added reaching 100% of this bar will begin a new mechanic, a stabilized breach. Stabilized breaches will spawn new challenges at its starting point. So basically now if you manage to get the breach to expand fully, rather than it just eventually closing, it's going to do some other stuff and you're going to get some like mechanics to actually interact with and fully close that breach. And it should feel, I guess, more like you're doing a thing and like, you know, you're actually fighting against this shit and stopping them coming into raid class. Very thematic. Oh. I think so. User interface and usability is something that they've definitely seemed to have had in their minds while they've been making Path of Exile 2. I don't think they ever crossed their minds when they made Path of Exile 1. I think they were just like, fuck it, the peasants will figure it out. They'll just click around until it works. Well, things seem a bit better. So another progress bar, added a new boss. So we're gonna get the marshals equipped. I think if you played Keepers in PoE 1, you'll probably recognize a bunch of this. It's basically Keepers, which is interesting because when Keepers League came out, I looked at like all of the art and I looked at everything and I was like, this is not for PoE 1. This is for PoE 2. This is for PoE 2 for sure. And they've basically just ported it straight to PoE 2. I haven't thought that about any of the other PoE 1 stuff that's come out, but this one just had a different vibe. So we'll keep our eyes out on that. Also, story-wise, right, it sort of progresses story-wise. The Hammerstorm build? No, isn't that from was that one of Miso's? What's for PoE 3? PoE 3 is when they finally combine the games together and just resell it. The campaign is just 20 acts of your character growing up, like throughout the 20 years between PoE 1 and PoE 2. So yeah, we're getting the Genesis tree with all of that. New nodes can be unlocked with womb gifts, so we're going to get the womb gifts. We put them in our tree. It makes the tree stronger. We can customize the things, the sort of rewards that we get from the tree. All very, very nice. There's going to be new ring types, new amulet types, new belt types. We've seen some of those already, but again, they're not giving us all the details now, so something for us to discover. New set of caster and minion mods. We've seen some of them, like I think it was almost 100% surpassing chance for minions to fire an extra projectile, which sounds very good. Like, it does sound like there could be some very nice mods there to discover as well. Catalysts no longer drop for monsters, and they're obtained solely from the Genesis tree. I think that's going to The market for catalysts has always been a bit spicy. Added a new set of 12 catalysts that can add a new quality modifiers to jewels. So there's going to be a reason. I think Breach is going to be a really good early game farm. I really do. It's got all of the right components that people want early. Breachstone splinters turn into a special womb gift. That gives us our breachstones, so we still collect 300 splinters, and it gives us something that we then turn into a breachstone. So there's an extra step to making our breachstone now, which uses hive blood, which I'm sure is some balance thing for giving us a hive blood dump, but it seems strange. New breach domains now spawn on the Atlas. Yep, we're going to see them be able to go clear them. Maps inside the breach domain contain new encounters, breach hives, sky hives, and sky fortresses, which is going to bring a bit of flavour to what we're doing. Sky hives, yeah, and then there's a little bit of information about what the different hives are. Fortresses are a new area with a pair of bosses, Tull and Esh. Defeating Tull and Esh will give you a key to access Zesht. I'm still a bit confused about exactly how all this is going to work, but we'll see. I've not seen the changes to Sanctification. No, I didn't specifically read those. Rituals isn't changing too much by the looks of it. No, there is Zesht. You get Tool, Esh, and then you get Zesht. Tool and Esh give you a key, and then you fight Zesht. Zesht is like them. It's like them combined together. I think. I don't fucking know. I don't understand the lore. Yeah, the glory stuff I was thinking for some temper spell stuff. No, it says across existing pinnacle, existing breach pinnacle. So it says existing breach pinnacle. Fortresses are a new area with a new pair of bosses, Tool and Esh. Defeating Tool and Esh will give you a key to access the existing breach pinnacle boss. It will be Zesht that we'll be fighting there. No, there never would be ever great. There never would be. These are secret. This is all marketing stuff. It's all fucking the hype train. It's the hype train's going. These aren't even full and complete patch notes. They're just enough for us to get our dicks hard over. That's literally it. It's enough to get the old juices flowing and going, oh, well, it could be. Well, if they do this, and it's enough to get all the talk and the chatter, and it's... I could not read these. I could not read these. I could sit down on day one of the league, have exactly the same experience. The only thing this is going to let me do is maybe tweak one of my build guides, maybe, because I've seen one change that is a definite change. And that's the only change that I've seen in this whole thing. Oh, yeah, of course, they will up. Yeah, Twisters could still get nerfed. It's timing for me, Barky. It is. It's timing. I think this... I don't need to personally. I don't need to be always on the game. Like I'm happy to take a month out. Like for me, the hype train started when they released the patch notes. That's when it really started. I was live a few days before that, waiting for videos and stuff, sit and chat to you guys because I'm playing other games and that. But the hype train really for me started when we got this level of information and there's enough to think about and start piecing things together. But honestly, I like ruining Christmas. It's kind of like ruining. It's kind of like knowing what you get on Christmas before Christmas Day. You know, it kind of is. But I understand that, like, yeah, you get a lot of content out of this, and you can make these videos, and you can do all it. Yeah, you can. Yeah. There is that. But to me, that ruins it a bit more. Because then I'm overthinking it. Then I'm creating false hope in my own mind, going, "Oh, what if they did do this?" And then you can get stuck on the, "Well, what if they did do this?" And then, well, what if they fucking don't? You just made yourself upset for no goddamn reason. Yeah, to me, it is more fun to go in blind, but and that's why I take these patch notes with a massive pinch of salt. Like I still wouldn't be making like firm and complete plans around this. I'd be going, I think we're going to make these changes. And of all my league start guides, I think this one's still going to work, and I can make those sorts of choices. But there's still going to there'll still be tweaks to numbers that aren't in here. There'll be reductions and things across other spells and other skills that they won't have covered in here that just have, I don't know, just weren't important enough to put in the patch notes, or I like to get hyped about the concrete information that we've got rather than the speculative information, because I don't know. Because I fucking hate being wrong. That's why. Doesn't fill me with joy when I guess something and then I'm wrong. And I'm always wrong when I guess things about this game. If I was good at guessing what was coming, I'd probably really enjoy speculating about it. But this is a personal problem. Don't know enough about the lore. I don't know. It is important. They have actually, their story is cohesive and it does make sense. I just have never bothered following it, like many of us, I assume. Anyway, so Ritual, we've got a new storyline. We will have a new way it interacts with the map. All items in the endgame Ritual reward screen are now either uniques or omens. I think this is a great change. And actually, this might give Ritual... We've got jewels, we've got jewelry, we've got uniques. Every single endgame thing is going to be targeted at a different type of reward that you're going to be able to target farm over others. You're still going to get other rewards, you're still going to drop your divines and shit like that, but you're going to like go target farm uniques. So based on what the market's doing, you can go, actually, it should be quite easy to see what sort of content you should be engaging with to really engage with the market and that. And I think I hope it stays like this, where there's this sort of not complete demarcation between the sorts of rewards you're getting from doing different content, but a clear push towards getting better rewards in a certain area based on different content. I think that's really cool. And I really think that's a good change. Going to make it very bloody hard to do any competitive science between different endgame things, but that's fine. Just makes it all the more challenging to come up with the tests, I guess. They did, Barker. Yeah, yeah. To force mirrors. So any tribute not spent can be used to get your audience with the king. So you can either go and, so if you're not seeing good rewards, you can just put that to being able towards farming ingenuities, which is fantastic. If you kill the king in the mists, you get a new key, which is the head of the king. So I'm assuming that it's one of those locks on the next door that you have to use the eye things for, and you're just gonna like hold his fucking head up to the scan, like push his head against it, just like, God, scan the eyes, like holding his eyelids open and stuff. Should be fine. The Rite of the Nameless is an Atlas mechanic in which you choose a series of 5 maps to complete a single continuous ritual. The monsters from each ritual, including the map boss, will reappear in each map in the sequence. Ooh. I like that. That sounds fucking spicy. That sounds a lot more like PoE1 rituals were, where you could like run to the end and you could put the map boss in the ritual and then fight all the rituals on the way back and have the map boss spawn in all the rituals. That was sick. Up to 8 maps later. Once you start your ritual, you just got like fucking 8 map bosses, just like 4 monkeys just swinging their clubs at you in the middle of the ritual thing. Panic. That sounds frightening. But again, these are reasons to make like really good, like really tanky characters, right? These are reasons to push your characters because it's gonna be content that's hard. So while choosing maps for the right of the nameless, each map after the first will contain extra modifiers. Each map for the right of the nameless awards one element of the key used to access the ritual pinnacle boss. I do hope, and the more I do hope I can just buy a load of keys and could go and run the pinnacle boss 50 times if I want to. I do hope that's still a thing that I can do. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but it feels like there's not a centralized hub where I just put my keys to run those things. It feels like there's like steps. You've got to go like climb the ladder type thing. I hope it's not like that. Yeah, he did. He did, but the notes. Look, right, Barker, I've heard Jonathan say some stuff that's just turned out to be complete bullshit. Like a couple of times. Like, we'll make it drop more of the things you need. Will you, Jonathan? Or will you make it drop bullshit? None of the things we need. My testing shows different. Right, so anyway, we've got basically 4 mechanics have been completely refreshed for the league. Delirium, Breach, and Ritual have had a similar level of refresh that is going to bring them up to a polished standard, which helps people engage with them, as well as having like levels of difficulty, harder bosses, potential for more uniques, all these things that are going to be awesome. And then we've got Fate of the Val moving to core, and I think they've gutted the fuck out of this. Yeah, I understand. I'm sure we will be able to do that. It would be really weird not to be able to do that. It would actually be weird. It wouldn't make any sense. It would go against like design philosophies. It would fuck up a market because you wouldn't be able. People that weren't like up for killing 32 million health bosses wouldn't be able to farm those keys, sell them, then get the gear so they could kill the 32 million health bosses. It would like fuck up a whole bunch of things. I don't think that would be a good change. So I'm on your side, and I don't even think it's hope. I think that would be normal. There's a few things that are going to test builds and nerves, man. The 200% delirium. Imagine if you can get these things to cross over. So you've got 200% delirium and you're fighting 8 bosses at once in a tiny arena with fucking Cyrus turning up and just like trying to cum blast you with all his balls from the sky. And you can't run anywhere because you've got the fucking ritual arena that you're fighting in. And you're dealing 75% less damage again. That's gonna be some big dick shit. Oh, on a bridge as well. Oh, on a bridge, so you've got like oh god. Oh god, I can see it now. Oh no. Oh, which ones have got the bridges in? The one with oh no, that's just a big. It's the one with the 2 tinies at the end. You've got all those bridges across the river in the middle. Like you get one of the rituals just on the edge of that, so you can't even quite get over the bridge. You just get stuck. Oh shit, yeah. Oh, there's going to be some good hardcore deaths this coming league. Oh fuck. And yeah, I'm getting hyped about like how difficult we can make the game. With more difficulty comes more rewards. But speaking of, I know somewhere down here they've basically cut the effect of effectiveness by 50%. They've just like bam, cut it in half. They gave Val Temple the triple tap, but in giving it the triple tap, they've like fucked effectiveness ratios everywhere else, which is really annoying because I feel like now that they only put Temple in like that, so we could limit test what happened with effectiveness at high scale. And now they've just cut it in half, even though there's nothing that's going to drop that much loot anymore. I don't think it's going to be a poverty league. Right, anyway, so Fate of the Val is moving to core. It's moved to core. You will unlock it as you go through the campaign. There's an Atlas passive tree for it. Aziri's Temple can now be found on the Atlas. Normal things, right? In order, right, first really important thing. It is no longer possible to prevent a room from being deleted from the temple. Rooms that must be deleted but have other connections will be turned into simple path rooms. So there's certain, like the sacrifice chamber, the alchemist labs, there's a few things that have that tag. Actually, interestingly, what doesn't have those tags are spy masters, barracks, and armories. So I think you could actually still make a snake of spy masters, barracks, and armories, unless I've missed something when I was checking this. But it's not going to be the same. It's definitely not going to be the same. But you could make like a snake of that, and then be building like a custom temple off to the side, maybe that was just getting some loot and getting boosted by the small snake, or like a partial snake. I think you can. Overall thoughts on evasion. I think evasion is got a massive boost when it comes to I think so. On the defensive side of things, I think the biggest change is obviously to energy shield and leech. But with the energy shield, I think hybrid has interestingly got a buff with getting runic ward, which is going to give you more health that is an energy shield, and with the changes to ghost dance. I think you're going to be able to sustain a small energy shield with really high evasion rating, which is going to give you like a consistent health pool that's like just absorbing and dealing with all of your small hits, which will kind of be similar to playing armor. It should bring it more on par to an armor player, which is you're consistently dealing and mitigating all that small damage, and it's only really big hits that you need to like dodge and pay attention to, which is kind of in the ethos of the game, right? Where there is supposed to be that meaningful combat to a degree. To a degree, you know, if something's like flashing red and like about to smash you with a big fucking overhead attack, you should probably move out the way. I think that might be reasonable, but it doesn't like it's going to be. There's going to be ways to build to absorb. I don't know how pure ES builds are going to work though. Pure ES builds do feel like they've had a bit of a nerf, especially with Frank. I think you're a couple of minutes behind. You should check and make sure that you zoom ahead. Someone tell Frank to check he zooms ahead, because I know exactly which bit he's just listened to. Yeah, faster recharge has got shit on, and also the leech as well. Actually, I think the leech, yeah, leech with the Sentia Sanguis isn't going to work as well anymore. I don't think. Not. Let's go for a wait. One sec. Probably. If they need another beer, gonna have another beer. Yeah, convalescence still. I think it might still be good. Well, I actually hated it before. I thought it was shit, but now it might be the best of a bad bunch. yeah, it might be. So the number of rooms in the temple when first starting has been increased. Rooms can now be upgraded to tier 4. I mean, that could lead to some really interesting rewards, right? Or what they could have done is move tier 3 rewards to be on tier 4s or something. And now you have to specialize to be able to get any of that cool currency and stuff, which is more likely what they've done, to be honest. It's made it harder to get that currency. So that could be a very valuable farm for certain endgame stuff. But again, this is going to be endgame Gamba stuff, right? Reward rooms have been improved. That means we're going to be able to get a mage blood from them. Restricted rooms in the Aziri's temple that are accessible will always destabilize upon exiting the temple. Okay. Aziri's temple medallions now have their drop rate scaled with the number of paths in the temple. As in, scaled up or scaled down? Does that mean paths are going to give us more medallions? I don't know how the I really want to get my hands on the temple and see how it works. I don't think it. I really enjoyed the temple, and I don't think they will have completely fucked it. Also, I don't know how well they test things, to be honest. They don't. They literally explain their development process like they don't test for shit. Like they're minimal testing, but they'd rather just cram in having the lead developer just put another feature in 3 hours before go live than do a last minute test of anything. That's how it was basically explained. So there could be some broken shit here still. The monster level of the temple now factors in the level of the areas where the crystals used to obtain it were obtained. Okay. The corruption chamber temple bonuses have been updated to add monster modifiers chance instead of what? Well, it doesn't matter anyway because it's going to disappear all the time anyway. I don't think they do test a lot. They literally sat there. They sat there and explained their process in the Q&A. I can go pull up the section. It's about 20 minutes in. And they were talking about their development process. They have a new system to do boundary testing, finally. But they don't use it for every release as well. So they've got it's called I can't remember what they called it. They've got like a simulator that should do boundary testing for them. They were talking about it. No, I think Diablo 4 just isn't tested or developed. But they don't they admitted to not testing things fully. They were basically like the most important thing is to get another feature in, to get more in there for the player, which is fine. But think about how many times the game's gone out with some pretty large bugs, some pretty large exploits, and that's fine. It's early access, but this happened all through PoE 1 as well. There was always leagues that went out where there was just like a fucking crazy exploit or numbers that could get sent to the moon that probably shouldn't, that they've then had to like do mid-league tweaks. It's okay. It to me, that's a lot more fun. It's a hell of a lot more fun. They're taking risks, right? It only lasts for a league. If something's broken, it's okay. There's another league in 4 months. It's not the end of the world. So I understand why they don't spend so much time on QA as well. They live by the bug and die by the bug. Like a good development company should. Monster level of the temple, yep, got that one. Portals created by temple. Whatever. Val beacons now show a grayed out icon when complete. Oh, that's cool. That would have been nice. That would have been nice. The lack of limit testing and having the exploits be possible is almost part of the game. personally think, yeah, I do as well. Yeah. Diablo's the reason Diablo 4 isn't on the same league as PoE is because they are catering for a different audience and they're not willing to. The stuff they introduce is just simply not as exciting and it's not as risk taking. It's not as deep either. Still need to go back and play the last Diablo 4 expansion just to see the story, not for any other reason. They've split infusers into 4 types, which I think is just... It just seems weird. This seems like a strange change, but I'm sure there's a reason that I just don't understand. Could they only be applied to jewelry before or something? Is this an expansion of the number of infusers and what they can do? I can't remember what the hell infusers did. I actually can't remember what they did. I don't remember using them. Maybe it had some level of depth and rarity to them, but I just don't remember what they did. Wasn't there something you could only use on rings, and it would take the power from one of the lines on the ring and then put that power into other lines? Was that what the infusers did? I never used them, I don't think. So that would make sense why there's now 4 types of them, because I'm pretty sure the ones that were in the game could only be used on jewelry. And now there's going to be some that can be used across the game. Potentially. Oh, don't know that one ever, Grey. Sorry, missed that question. Right. Fake the currency items now have a maximum stack size of 5,000. Yep. Some of the possible... Oh, man, yeah, they were stacking to like 20, right? Yeah, they were... What was it, 100? I don't know, they weren't stacking well. Some of the possible outcomes from applying the Val Cultivation Orbs have been updated. Aziri's rule unique staff can now roll half the amount of life efficiency. Aziri Splendor can now roll less than half the amount of... half the amount of energy shield, just over. Covenant unique body armor can now roll increased basically half the amount of life cost efficiency. Hateforge unique gloves, slight buff, can now roll plus 16 to 30 maximum rage if you've used a skill that requires glory in the past 20 seconds, previously plus 8 to 12 maximum rage per skill that requires glory in the past 6 seconds, which actually would make it very, very good for one of my builds. Like, very good. My Whirling Smith Belfister, which uses a stick. That'd be really good. Anyway, the Wrathpith Globe unique focus can now roll 8 to 15% increased life cost efficiency. So slight nerf there. The Shackles of the Wretched Gloves. Oh, fuck you, game. The Shackle of the Wretched unique gloves can no longer roll elemental ailments other than freeze you inflict at reflected to you. That should say. Instead, now being able to roll 10 to 15% damage per curse on you. That is a massive... They've just taken out that tech. They've taken out the freeze yourself to go fast tech is gone, which is pretty lame because I think that was kind of fun and that was one of the really fun techs that came in from Wait at the Val. To see it get removed is pretty rubbish, especially seeing as that similar tech is in Path of Exile 1 and has been there for a while. I think that's a poor change, actually. That's a really poor change. I don't know why they've done that. Yeah, I'll get onto Vertex in a minute, but this was a tech enabler where you were using a combination of multiple interactions to do something that was basically giving you movement speed, right? And it wasn't giving you an obscene amount of movement speed, but it was giving you enough that you were really, really fast without breaking the game with speed. You weren't like causing frames not to load and stuff like that, chunks not to load or anything like that. It just seems poor. It was one of the best. That was one of the coolest bits of tech that came out of all of that. And yeah, as you just suggested, Jamie, the Vertex has been gutted. But with the Chronomancer maybe looking very good for a sort of mid to end game build, caster build that's got massive defensive layers from Curse, as well as the offensive layer from Inevitable Agony now, that might actually be quite good. It might be good. Not be good as plus 2 to 4 skill gems, don't get me wrong, but I think you could get quite a lot out of that. On certain builds. Yeah, it's still a curse. Isn't it? Are you fucking kidding me? I thought, fuck that idea then. Go, right, that's gone. That's gone. Napoli. Means nothing. You won't be seeing me play a spell Chronomancer this league, because it's just not going to be that good. Put it bluntly, there was one interaction there that could be scaled to give you a very, very nice damage boost while not having to take things like crit, and it's gone. It's gone. That's gone. Thank you. That's... Just wanted to have some fun on the Chronomancer. Okay. Piece of shit. God damn it. I had this whole thought coming together. A fucking round the Chronomancer for like a week 2 or 3 character. No, because I think I've got the... Have I still got paint open? There's a... I don't think it says it down here either. Let me just go and double check. Yeah, it does say it down here, which I worked it out from the image. Now grants debuffs, target lose 25. So it's taken half the damage off as well. That used to be 50% and scalable. Now it's 25% non-scalable. Yeah, so I think it's 25% non-scalable, which makes it really bad. I'm so glad I didn't make a video about that now. I was so close to making a 5-minute PSA video about how strong that was going to be. You know. Yeah. I knew it had been taken down to 25% from the video. I did. What do you mean, Jamie? Literally having freeze deflect onto yourself, and then that's not a bug. That's just 2 bits of tech. What was the other bit of tech? I can't remember. The chest that meant that the effect of freeze was inversed. That's not a bug. That's getting 2 bits of tech to work together. It wasn't a bug. If it was a bug, it'd be in the bug fixes. It's not in the bug fixes. They've changed. Yeah. What do you mean the curses? Inevitable agony was definitely a curse. It was always a curse that ignored curse limit. The reason it's been changed is because it would have been... You would have been able to get like plus 125% damage with it after everything else. Not increased damage, not more damage, just bam, flat, just double your damage. Why it's been changed. It's kind of shit now. 25%, just a bit shit. Probably not worth fucking around with compared to other things that will be available. All right. Okay, so Abyss. Abyss is being added to the map. Abyssal Omens will no longer drop below Area 65, so you won't get them before maps. Modifies the number of chests found is changing. Modify to the number of chests found now applies to chests found in Abyss. These also apply to the chance to find an abyssal depths. So the chance to find an abyssal depths does not decrease with more chests in it. What? Was that important? Also, I've noticed the logo of my shirt cuts out from the thing, and it makes me look like I'm a really weird shape. What the fuck is? Okay. Adjusted the damage of the meteoric demise, but adjusted it up or adjusted it down? Like, I need to know. This is important. And the runes don't instantly pop you and kill you when you touch them. That's nice. Expedition's been disabled because it's now the runes of Alder. We don't need to read anything of that. Fine. Right. Other end game changes. Atlas has been reset. That's in standard as well. Yeah, inverted self-chill's been a thing in PoE 1 for a while. Added support for searching to the endgame atlas. That's good. You can now zoom out slightly further. Remember that bug in 0.1 where you could, if you pressed escape at the same time as like scrolling out really, 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 really fast, you could get the atlas to zoom all the way out. That was a good one. Tablets of the same type may now be used together to increase the amount of league content that is spawned. The specifics of this are different for each content type. In some cases, adding multiple tablets will increase the size of a single encounter, while in other cases will increase the number of encounters. Yeah, it was a great bug. So I imagine like putting a load of breach tablets in is going to spawn a load of breach encounters, right? Or putting a load of ritual tablets in will spawn. Actually, I don't know, right? Maybe you just get a bigger and longer ritual or something like that. But that's cool. You can specialize a bit more. Waystones must now be identified. Why? Why? Why does it matter if I want to risk it all for saving my ID scroll? You can now use orbs of chance on You can use orbs of chance on tablets. Okay, that's cool. We can gamba tablets, boys. It's going to be huge. Some items and content now require you to specialize in them through Atlas passive skills, including exceptional item. Oh, hello. Negative rarity dead. Negative rarity might be dead, depending on what that changes. If exceptional items only drop with a certain Atlas passive skill, then stacking to negative rarity might not be the one, right? Because if they're being enabled through, that's going to need some testing. That's going to need some testing, but that does sound that there sounds like a change to negative rarity strats. On the very face of it, the fact that it's locked behind a passive skill sounds like the whole drop potential of exceptional items has been changed to work in a completely different way. Same with fracturing orbs. So, as much as I saw some corrupted areas on the tree, maybe fracturing and corruption's changed as well. That could be quite... That's something that needs checking early on to see if those strats have changed before people start like fucking trying to get negative rarity ventals and shit like that, because it might just be a waste of time. Well, I mean, you have to get some negative rarity ventals to test it to see if it's a waste of time, but you know what I mean. It might not be the strat anymore. I don't know how I feel about that. I didn't like the negative rarity strat. I actually didn't. I think I did it with the guys once. I just didn't fucking like it. It made a lot of divines, but it just wasn't fun. You know, picking a load of fucking white items up that have got an extra socket on them is not... That's not fun. That's not fun loot. That's like... That's like going to mine for coal. You know, it's like someone's got to do it, but it's a bit lame. Tablets can no longer be used on maps that cannot have extra content, such as unique maps. Okay, so unique maps are staying. I very much so viewed the neg rarity stuff as different strokes for different folks, same way. Yeah, there is that. Like, just because I didn't enjoy it doesn't mean I'm pleased to see it change or go. I'm just saying that is definitely something that I think that they might be trying to address the negative rarity with whatever change that they've put here. Like, for sure. I didn't like it, but it was part of the economy, right? It was part of why top end items were worth as much as they were, and it's fine. I just didn't enjoy engaging with that farm myself. If they have like completely destroyed the strat, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think them destroying strats out the game is a good thing. Just because I didn't enjoy engaging with it. Or people that just purely engage with that. Yeah, we have to see how rare they are though. The next door, yeah, I know that one's coming up. As I said, I have read ahead. Mostly just using this time to drink beers on a Friday night with some company. Tablets can no longer be used on maps that can have extra. Yeah, we read that. League-specific tablets can no longer drop from non-map areas. Okay, that's fine. I think there was an over splurge of tablets a lot of the time anyway. I still wish they would kind of get rid of tablets and they've already turned them into 10-use scarabs basically. There's no real difference. Lowered the base chance for essences as myriad spirits, shrines, strongboxes, summoning circles, and rogue exiles. But somewhat due to the much larger increase now available on the Atlas tree. So that's interesting. So it looks like you'll be able to specialize to make that random content appear a lot more often, which is cool. The more ways to specialize content and do different stuff is always good in my books. Atlas passives that reference maps with powerful map bosses now work with Overseer precursor tablets and other sources of powerful map bosses. Were they not working before? Wait, what? Okay. I feel like that's a bug. I feel like that should be in the section called bugs. It doesn't feel like an other endgame change. Something now works with something that shared the tags. You know, it doesn't quite feel. I think someone's been hiding their bug reports in the Jira board. They've been putting them down as PBIs when actually they're bugs. Adjusted the value of general precursor tablets to be similar to the same type bonuses granted by waystone modifiers. Also reduce the roll variance of these modifiers. General precursor tablets that have got like the +1 modifier and the risk rolls. So I wonder if it's changed that. The following modifiers can no longer roll. Baron's Beastly, Bramble, Doriani's Innovating, Faradon's Hallowed, or Nemesis. Of Nemesis. Perennials, Rusted, and Sacrificial. I don't know if any of those are the important ones when it comes to extra mods. Whether a map modifier is a suffix or a prefix has been adjusted so that generally prefixes are modifiers that affect a monster output towards the player, and suffixes are modifiers that affect player or monster defenses. Okay. I thought it was like that anyway. I thought it was like that anyway. There. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was skewed one way. So there was okay, whatever. It's obviously skewed more that way. The following suffix modifiers are now prefixes, and they've switched over suffixes and prefixes to meet the thing that is above. I don't remember what all of these prefixes and suffixes are, so me reading them out is Pretty fucking pointless. The of overpowering Waystone modifier no longer causes monsters to have increased freeze build-up, shock chance, or inflict increased flammability magnitude. It now causes monsters to have increased element ailment. Fuck. This is a wrong. This is a wrong patch note. What you do for this patch note is you put it up in general changes and you say, we have renamed increased freeze build-up, shock chance, and increased flammability magnitude to increased ailment application. Why would you? I don't know, whatever. Waystone modifier bonuses have been updated. They now provide more monster effectiveness, pack size, item rarity. So yeah, more buffs from your Waystone modifiers. Fantastic. Monster rarity. Modifiers to pack size now also provide a chance for additional rare monster to appear in rare monster packs. Monster rarity is a new stat available that affects the chances of magic and rare monsters, and the chance for additional modifiers on rare monsters. So monster rarity is replacing the chance for additional modifiers then, which is going to be something that's a bit more random and a bit less controlled. It's just going to either give you more magic rare or chance for more actual rare named monsters. A sort of more random pattern, I guess. Map modifiers include source of increased number. Half the bonus. This is an important one. This is an important one. Half the bonus to quantity of items dropped. Quantity of item dropped and experience gained provided by monster effectiveness. Yeah, that one basically nukes everything. That is going to be really big, because that's not just halving the effectiveness value that you can get in a Zeri's Temple. It's just like, I know, Colonel Go Hard, it was 90 seconds. If anything, I think Jonathan was watching my stream, waiting for me to go to bed before he allowed them to be released. I don't think that. He doesn't give a fuck who I am. Yeah, I know. I literally, I closed the stream, said goodnight, refreshed the thing, and went, yep, that's my day. It was probably just as well, unless it came out at a decent time last night. I wouldn't have had time to go through them anyway. Mostly because I sit here talking shit. We've been reading for some time. We're a little way through the patch notes. Honestly, I'm assuming most of you guys have been through the patch notes today. Over the day, we've watched videos. I don't need to go like fucking balls deep on this to give you guys the information. I've read them myself throughout the day. I read them at my lunch break. You know, there's a couple of interesting things in here that we'll touch on when we get there. But mostly, I'm waiting until 10 o'clock so I can refresh the trade website and see if the martial artist thing is coming out. And if that doesn't come out, I'll probably just go to bed and make a video about my favorite things about the monk tomorrow. All right, so what else we got? The functionality of... I thought this one's really weird. Well, I don't think it's weird. Do I think it's weird? I don't think it's solved the problem. So the functionality of the Omen of Chaotic Rarity, Omen of Chaotic Quantity, and Omen of Chaotic Monsters have been inverted. Instead of guaranteeing the new modifiers of their type, they instead prevent the modifiers being of their type. So in other words, if you normally used an Omen of Chaotic Rarity, to get the impact of an Omen of Chaotic Rarity, you would need to use an Omen of Chaotic Quantity and an Omen of Chaotic Monsters. And by putting both of those on, you would only then, therefore, guarantee rarity modifiers and some, like, generic modifiers, I guess. There's going to be some modifiers that don't fit into any of those three categories that are going to be able to come alongside the categorized ones. Which means that, like, they might have a bit more value, but We have not. No, I'm drinking real beer rather than spunk milk. Yeah, I think it's a weird change, but it means that the value should be inverted. So rather than just one of these things being valuable, the other two should be valuable. And that one that was valuable should be bullshit. But I like what it just, yeah, it's just a layer of complexity I don't think we need. Added a new omen of chaotic effectiveness while this item is in your inventory. So there's now 4 omens. There's 4 omens, and you might. Oh, for fuck's sake! Why have they done this? Like, why have they done this? Like these three things need to be read in conjunction. That actually, for fuck's sake, why did they do this? To roll a map of a certain type for a certain thing, you need the other 3 omens. Well, actually saying that, no, well, then, well, okay. So let's say you dropped. Wait, quantity and effectiveness are 2 different things now. Whatever. Yeah, it is backwards. This is backwards logic. This is like you would never develop something like this. Surely. It's just an extra. I don't know what benefit it gives anything other than you have to think backwards to pick what omens you want to actually take as rewards. Angry bid. Half the damage. Half the damage is extra. Isn't there a way to get shrine buffs now? Hell yeah. There was a reason I put that as the thing I was pointing to on the thumbnail. I thought that's the highlight change. Completion of fixed location on the atlas are now shared with party members. I mean, that's a good one, probably for people that were doing some friendly bleak starts. You can progress one atlas and unlock everything at once, which is quite nice. With the addition of more varied content, the atlas map size of the content indicators have been increased. All right, so what's going on with campaign replayability? To improve how long it takes for experienced players to replay through the game in each new league, we've added elements to multiple campaign areas that tell you where to go. If you know what to look for, you can see some examples in this video. Yeah, but the really experienced players have learnt the fucking tile set and how it loads. Some areas throughout the game have been shortened. Removed the second Dreadnought area. Area order in Act 3 has been somewhat rearranged. The waterway levers have been turned into pressure pads. And monster density in the second half of the campaign has been reduced, especially in the interludes, to allow getting through these areas more quickly. Yeah, but new players aren't going to know what to look for. They're just going to be running around the area, killing some stuff, picking up the different items that are being dropped. Like, they're going to be looking at their worn gloves, going, oh, my worn gloves better than my torn gloves. Is W after or before T in the alphabet? Is that how I work this out? Does level 6 mean I can only wear this while level 6 because Elon Musk said something? You know, new players are having other problems. They've got other problems. Bless them. Right, player changes. Bleed damage on players is no longer increased while the player is moving. That sounds like a fine change. By the way, half those dumb campaign guidance helps. I know! I know! Just no one fucking noticed them. When they kept coming out, when that video came out, I was looking at them going, I swear I've noticed that, and I just never put My problem is I never put 2 and 2 together because I'm a thick prick, rather than they actually weren't there. They're like, oh yeah, we've done all this stuff, guys. Did I get nerfed? No, you haven't been nerfed by a head. No, you're fine, dude. You're fine. No nerf. No nerf. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah, you're like, hang on, this stuff's already here. I think there is going to be a bunch of new stuff and a bunch of new tricks, but I think what they've pointed out is that there's tricks that are there, and we should probably go look for them. I don't think they should tell us all the answers. I don't think that's fun. I don't think it's fun if they tell us all the answers with a game like this. I think that's fucking boring. I think they should leave it for us to figure out. But obviously they left it for us to figure out long enough that they were like, okay, so the speedrunners have decided to learn the literal random tile generator and how certain tiles generate together, rather than looking to see if there's like some seals on the wall, and the seals which are used to seal this are like to see if they maybe go in one direction and not the other. They didn't do that. They studied the tile generation routine of the algorithm, and it's like, maybe we should just point out that sometimes it doesn't need to kill you. Sometimes the game helps you. I'm going for a wee. I fucking hell. Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. I did miss the release by 20 minutes last night. I did. RNG is Coke. What do you mean RNG is Coke? Hello. Oh, fuck. Hey, man. How's it going? Been a while. Right. Oh, shit. Right. I need to go get another beer, but I'm on that mystical beer number 5. What I've realised is beer number 5 is about where I go over the curve. But if I don't keep drinking, then hopefully they release the video in 20 minutes, right? Ah. Well, a little bit, you know. It's a warm day, and yeah. It's been a long year, but I should probably make sure I don't drink beers every day. Leech does have a limit now. Sparky, that's a really good idea. The only person I ever saw ever do that would be... I'd see my dad do that in pubs sometimes when we used to go out drinking. He'd get to about pint number 8 or 9. He'd be like, right, I need to have an orange juice now. And then he'd like drink a J2O or an orange juice or something. And then like another 6 pints. Yeah, the China change is good. I've read ahead on it all, dude. That's why I'm not racing through it, and I'm pretty sure you guys have all read ahead as well. Like, but yeah, there's yeah. Fuck it, let's jump ahead. All right. It's not a big change. Yeah, I've seen you. And since I got this, I just try it out, and I just know I just need another one to maintain that perfect buzz. Fucking Trailer Park Boys, man. What a show. What a trash show as well. It's brilliant. Fucking brilliant. If you want to hear a fun tip when it comes to drinking, chug down a cup of olive oil. You are guaranteed to shit yourself. Yeah. It's one of the. I'm going to Amsterdam next Friday. That'd be great. Um, thank you, thank you. I will concede. If I need a day off the office, I'll just I'll go in with a cup of olive oil in my lunch bag. Just fucking neck down the cup of olive oil. Have my morning stand up. Go to the toilet. Be home in time for stream. Cost me. I'm not drinking a cup of fucking olive oil. No shot. Definitely. Right, where were we before I jumped ahead? We're on player changes. Bleed damage no longer increased by us moving. Maximum runic ward is added to your starting honor when. I mean, the fact that we have runic ward is surely the change. Players now have a thing called runic ward. Is the change, right? This is this change. This release note here. This is from a story about 4 months into the development process. And it's like the last story in the feature where someone has finally made the runic ward work with Trials of Sec. And rather than getting the feature level fucking product note here, we've got some story level product note that just makes no conception. It's just, it's not. The fact that we have runic ward is the patch note, not this. This is bump. This is cut it down. Simplify. The defenses keyword is no longer in use. Existing uses of the word defenses now explicitly refer to armor, evasion, and energy shield to make it clear that these modifiers do not apply to runic ward, resistances, block, or other forms of protection. Purely a description change. Yeah, it did always work that way, but I guess just to make it clear. Yeah. Saprep. Exactly. That is not the public release note for 0.5. That's an internal release note for a bug fix found by some part of their QA process. There should be a little bit called Runic Ward, and it's got some highlights about Runic Ward, like some more detailed highlights about the sort of values that you could get, or something like that. And that would be much more sort of like, oh shit. So if that's the sort of values I could hit, right? Well, how does that work into this, that, or the other? What could I sacrifice while getting it? You know. Anyway, the defensive keyword. Yep. Only a single leech instance per resource can apply at a time. Per resource? Oh, shit. That's fucking mana leech as well. No. Oh, man. That's gonna be fucked up. You're gonna have to be like fucking weaving in 3 auto attacks while you wait for your mana to come back. Ah, it's gonna be fucked. That's gonna be fucked. Yeah, but what about for bossing, man? Oh, shit. Okay, and now for the next 10 seconds of the boss fight, make sure you're running around, dodging his attacks and pressing your mana flask so you can do your rotation one more time. Hopefully you kill him this time, otherwise he's probably gonna kill you. That's fucked. PoE 2 is my favorite. Yeah, but like, yeah, right. Yeah, now that's pretty good. Like mana remnants and stuff. Mana remnants would probably work. There's other ways to get your mana back, but mana leech was definitely the smoothest, especially for melee. Especially for like warriors, monks, like melee classes. That was really good. That being gone is not nice. I understand the life and energy shield. I understand that because there was like some crazy interactions you could do where you could send the numbers up to like literally the millions, and that's why you were casting like 100 comets a second and stuff. And I get that. I get that tuned down, but I don't think mana. I don't think mana was the problem there. I really don't. I think they've done the old triple tap where they didn't need to do that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just being like a bit of a doomer, but I don't. Yeah, I really don't feel like mana was the problem. But maybe I'm missing something as well. Maybe I wasn't playing a build that exploited it, like, and I wasn't. So maybe there was something I just missed. Anyway, I feel like I used this responsibly, and now I feel punished, even though I only ever used it responsibly. I feel like that is more of an impactful change than any of this. I feel like this is all framed around Life Leech, but I feel like that is more impactful for so many more builds when it comes to the melee side of things. Is what it is, right? We'll work around it. There'll probably be some other way to fix it. There might be some way to use Runic Ward to help buffer that mana pool or something like that. So it's not like things aren't dead in the water. It's just I don't necessarily know what solves that problem right now. There is now a limit on the maximum amount of damage a hit can be considered to deal for Leech. Hits that deal less than 40,000 total damage are unaffected. If a hit would deal more than 40,000 total damage, it is treated as dealing only 40,000 damage. Oh, shit. The value... Oh, fuck. The value of each damage type... Oh, man, that's... Oh, fucking hell, that's really bad. Maybe my title's wrong. I don't think this is not a surprisingly low nerf ratio. This is like the nerfs that are kind of hella bad. It's treated as dealing only 40,000 damage for purpose of leech calculation. The value of each damage type in the hit is scaled down to evenly reach this limit. This means that extremely high damage hits stop improving leech past a certain point, and that certain point is very low. But increasing your leech percentage will always increase the amount of the resource you are gaining. Okay, so if you've got like comets coming down, they're only gonna count for 40,000 damage of leech. So if you're the blood mage with 20%, that's 8,000 damage leech, which is 2,000 life per second, which on a good day is 1 comet per second on cast on crit. On a good day where you're not taking any damage and not doing any casts. That's actually a reduction in the number of comets of about 99%, by the way. 99% reduction in the number of comets on cast on comet. Not even joking. That's fucking gutted it. That's gutted. It's this. The 40,000 total damage are unaffected, but hits that deal less than 40,000 total damage are unaffected, But if a hit would deal more than 40,000 damage, it is treated as only dealing 40,000 damage. So even if you got like 100% extra leech, let's say you got 200% extra leech. Let's say you did. So now from your 40,000 total damage that is considered for leech, 24,000 of it, let's say, is considered as your leech potential. But it's over 4 seconds. It's only like 3 comets a second. That's a real, I think that's a lot worse. I think people have said, I even said it in guild group chat earlier, that I don't think this is that bad. But actually, even with stacking all the other leech, I'd misunderstood. I hadn't actually read this line for myself. I'd misunderstood. It is treated as only dealing 40,000 damage for the purposes of the leech calculation is fucking massive. That's leech just gone. Gone. Across all builds, leech is no longer a way to recover to any real... Well, you still get a bit of recovery from it. It'd be like drinking a flask all the time, which is obviously quite good. But it's not gonna blow out the water. It's not gonna give you comets per second and that sort of stuff. Which yeah. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure there'll be other broken things we can do instead. Yeah, it should be okay for sustain. Yeah, yeah. It's as good as drinking a life flask. So as long as you can get some big hits out on melee, you should be able to get some good sustain with it, but I'm more concerned about the mana leech than anything else. The mana leech seems really rough. I think they removed all sources of instant leech. I think all sources of instant leech have gone. Formula for chance to deflect has been adjusted to provide better scaling with investment into deflection rating. With a cap of 95%. Wasn't it 75% before? It was 75% for deflection, wasn't it? It was. So you've gone from a 1 in 4 chance to deflect to a 1 in 20. Sorry, a 1 in 4 chance to not deflect to a 1 in 20. That is fucking huge. If you can hit that 95%, that is fucking huge. Especially if you're playing like a... So let's go back to that idea of a monk that's sitting between like 2,000 life, 1,500 energy shield, and like 800 runic ward, as it's like loose numbers. If you had a bunch of that converted to deflect, that 4,300 life pool goes a hell of a lot further in sustained combat against groups of mobs. That starts to feel quite good. I think that would, in fact, I know that would start to feel quite good. It's not. Yeah. Is that deflect looking better than when it was released? Nah, no one's going to cry. We got 6 months. We'll be fine. EV deflection looks like it could be very powerful. It's a 5 times multiplier on how effective EV is. That 20% increase from 75 to 95 is not. It's not a 20% increase. It's 5 times better. 5 times. It's fucking huge. We're into like, it's like the opposite of diminishing returns when you're looking at that sort of defensive multiplication. So that's massive. How about a build where you use Tempest Flurry with full attack speed? I'm hoping that there will be something that will give a bonus to Hollow Palm on Martial Artist that will enable some silly things with Tempest Flurry again. But like the Tempest Flurry attack speed's been really gutted. And the way to apply it, moving with it, is kind of hard now. I mean, it can still be done, but it's not like it was. You want to get to like 14, 15 attacks per second to make moving with Tempest Flurry pretty good. But if you can get to that number, it feels great. Well, it feels okay. It feels good enough. I think the new crappy gloves are going to be great, Chris. I do. I think they're going to be incredible pieces of kit. I think all the lines are going to change with martial artist in a lovely way. What do you mean? No. What do you mean? They're going to be amazing. It's not good for pure EV though. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So I don't think you go pure EV. You've got, let's say you can get to 2,200 life, 1,500 energy shield. That's 3,700, and then 800 runic ward. You use Ghost Dance, which is now recovering energy shield based on 8% of your evasion over 4 seconds. So 2% of your evasion every second. You can stack up to 30,000 evasion. That's got that 1,500 energy shield coming back every time you lose a Ghost Dance thing. So what energy shield could do before was enable you to tank hits that you shouldn't have been able to tank, which you couldn't do with a life build. There was no way you could do that with a life build. Now there's no way you're going to be able to do that with an energy shield build, but I think you're going to be able to build an energy shield build that recovers its energy shield and has the buffers it needs to feel performative without feeling like you can do gamey shit, like just stand there with like 16k energy shield getting fucking slammed by a pinnacle boss and completely trivializing the content. But I do think there's going to be ways you can build like tanky mappers where you still need to engage with the boss fights. I don't think, yeah, Chris, I don't think, fundamentally, I don't think they're going to feel too different going forwards. Looking at how they've balanced leech and why wards come in, I really feel like the whole they want you to have to press dodge roll to keep yourself alive. That's why they've put it in the game. Yeah, basically EV max life deflection, and you'll probably want you'll probably want one piece of hybrid gear that gives you energy shield, so you can make use of something like Ghost Dance, and you're going to have a pretty solid defensive build around that. But Mana Sustain be fine without leech. Yeah, I'm really now that is something I am concerned about. I am really concerned about this in particular. Only a single leech instance per resource, including mana. I'm very concerned about that, and I don't have an instant answer for it. I actually don't. I'm going to have to go look at some numbers. There's one that didn't, yeah. That might be overlooked by a number of people as well, but that seems significant for a lot of builds, that change. Like, really significant. I expected the life. I expected the energy shield. I did not expect the mana. Really didn't. Yeah, it's going to be huge. Huge. We might have other ways to solve the problem with some of the new Kalguran supports and that sort of stuff, but as a generic problem solve or tech thing, I think stuff's gone. Mm. Anyway, so deflect's going to be good. Parry, shield block, and resonating shield no longer delay heavy stun build up from decaying longer than okay. Mana remnants might be okay. It's definitely going to be good now for a lot of builds, which is strange. Melee attacks can now only apply splash damage once per damaging area. Some attacks create multiple damaging areas during use. No! That's why it was so good. Whirling Assault was really, really good when you were clearing through packs with fuck. With the Smith of Katava, Whirling Assault was so much better than on Monk, and I don't think I put 2 and 2 together, that it was the splash damage they got from being on that side of the tree. There's that node that gives you extra splash damage. It was just like, all of a sudden, it was just fucking on fire with, sorry, pardon me, on fire with the same gear. No way! No way! I know it would be. I know it would be. I know it would be. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm literally rock hard, boys. I'm so rock hard. YouTube's telling me to watch myself. If you guys have debated me, I'm gonna...
The dreamer showed me a path. But through discipline and training, I have forged my own.
Yes, this is the new ascendancy. Martial artist, new ascendancy. Let's go, boys. Log in.
In Return of the Ancients, we're adding the...
You know what staff that is, don't you? You know what staff that is, don't you? That's Pillar of the Cage Gods.
third ascendancy class for the Monk, the Martial Artist. The Martial Artist took his training into his own hands and has spent decades mastering his proficiency of hollow techniques.
He's not the only person taking something into his own hands.
Building his body into the ultimate
Let's go,
weapon.
boys. Let's fucking go, boys.
The monk may still walk the dreamer's path, but the martial artist redefines how. Mostly by punching things very hard. Let's take a look at what he has to offer, starting with his exclusive skills. Hollow Focus rings a death knell for your foes. Ethereal bells constantly appear around you, and hitting them causes them to shatter with a powerful shockwave.
This is bait.
These bells can always be killed and are always primed for stun, so using them with Killing Palm and Staggering Palm is ultra useful. These bells are also always critically hit. Why does that last bit matter? Well, Hollow Resonance thrives on critical hits. The final step for the bell-centric part of the martial artist is strapping a bell to your back, which will ring out whenever you critically hit an enemy, delivering damage around you. Both of these bell skills are also quite good at stunning, which will come in handy later. If you prefer keeping your distance from the fray, Hollow Form lets your astral projections do the dirty work for you. While channeling, you constantly spawn clones of yourself that attack with skills of your choice. You can also spend power charges to spawn triple the clones for maximum damage and maximum ruckus. And for the
that was actual damage. That was actual damage.
Power charges to spawn triple the clones for maximum damage and maximum ruckus.
It's actual damage. It actually did 2 million damage in a second.
Who are thinking,
it actually did
what
damage.
About shapeshifting? Enjoy your meditating wolf. Of course, the martial artist has plenty to offer besides new skills, such as taking pride in his Ezomite training by tattooing runes into his flesh. Runic Meridians gives you 5 extra rune sockets to play with. Perfect for all the new runes you can find in the Runes of Elder League. If you want to focus on chaining together attacks, Martial Adept and Martial Master
gain combo from all attack hits. That's fucking nuts.
If you want to focus on chaining together attacks, Martial...
When you gain combo, gain an additional combo. Just fucking... -2 seconds to current energy shield recharge delay. Oh, man. Oh, man. You're going to be able to, like... Oh, shit. culmination goes up to 10 combo now, but you're going to be able to drop 10 combo for just a 2% fucking straight reduction on your energy shield recharge. Oh, shit.
Martial Adept and Martial Master are tailor-made for you, generating massive amounts of combo to spend on things like these and protecting you while you do it.
They just showed the skills I was talking about. I couldn't have pre-watched this, it's just come out.
Remember how I mentioned being good at stunning might come in handy? Way of the Mountain covers you in a stony carapace when you are...
Right, 100% surpassing chance per enemy power to gain Mountain's Teaching on immobilizing an enemy up to a maximum of 30. Lose a Mountain's Teaching when you are hit, or when you use or sustain an attack that benefits Mountain's Teaching. While you have any amount of Mountain's Teachings, attacks you use yourself and attacks granted by this Ascendancy class deal 15% more damage. Okay. Enemy hits you take that would deal damage less than or equal to 30% of your maximum life after mitigation, such as armor resistances before other modifiers. Damage taken deal 40% less damage. Okay.
Mobilize enemies. The stacks are easy come, easy go, but provide massive benefits.
Yeah, they do.
Causing your attacks to deal a lot more damage, and reducing the damage you take from smaller hits to a tickle.
Yeah, some of them did probably need to be nerfed.
Last, but certainly not least, let's put on some nice normal gloves and... Wait, what the heck?
15% more global evasion rating and energy shield attacks gain 30% extra fizz, 10% less damage while taking on no life. Okay.
Look at
What
these.
the fuck are these numbers?
Way of the Stone Fist transforms any gloves you equip into fists of stone until you take them off. These gloves grant truckloads of evasion and energy shield, but more importantly, they transform the explicit modifiers on the gloves you equip, and yes, it works on everything. This, that,
It gives you hollow palm technique. It fucking gives you hollow palm technique. 20% increased area of effect. This is going to be fucking nuts, boys. This is going to be crazy. There's going to be some stuff to find on this that is fucking crazy.
and yep, even these.
Oh my god. Flat cold damage and area of effects. So all those fuckers that were calling me hopium for my video where I said I think the fucking fisters, the fister gloves, they're gonna be fucking amazing. You know they're gonna do something awesome. Look at these changes.
Needless to say,
There's some gloves right here. Thunder fists. 15% chance to gain onslaught. Flat adds 44 to 66 cold damage to unarmed melee hits. What the fuck is Gelid Palm? Thank you for the sub. What is Gelid Palm? What is this? Demon Stitcher, what are these? Sacrifice 26% of maximum life to gain half that much runic ward when you attack. What? What? But you see what I mean? Like, these lines are changing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to move out the way of these other things, but the camera's following me around. And then we've got the Scene Acrio, which are great. More global. Increased attack speed if you've dealt a critical hit recently. That's a huge number as well. Surpassing chance per enemy power to gain Mountain's teaching. This is from another glove, so like Mountain's teaching is going to be going to be coming around from in a few places. You have the Way of the Mountain Ascendancy passive skill. What the fuck? It's just giving you... Oh my god.
There's a lot to discover about this one. So that's what the class can do, but how does it come together in practice? We've got a couple of in-game builds to show you to demonstrate the might of the martial
Mate,
artist.
I've got some fucking end-game builds
First
to show
up,
you.
the snowbound executioner wields a big
No,
staff,
no. But yeah, you
bells,
can.
and a very
with most
well-toned
builds.
body to ice out his
Yeah,
foes.
you can.
Shattering Palm and Herald of Ice mow down packs of enemies and continuously trigger the shockwaves of
Hell
both our
yeah.
bell skills.
Oh yeah,
Because we're
I'll try and get a
freezing
league
enemies,
starter.
we're generating
we'll
lots
literally
of
work on it
Mountain's
over the next
teaching
week.
stacks
We'll sit on
to
stream,
keep
we
the
can-
damage
we can talk
flowing
about it, work
and
on it.
protect us while clearing.
Then you guys
And
can
we're
tell me if it
also
works
taking
when I get
full
back.
advantage of Way of the Stone Fist with this monstrous pair of gloves. Against tougher targets, we switch to Ice Strike and deploy even more bells per second with a Temper spell. Our cooldown reduction also allows Hollow Resonance to
I am
trigger as
fucking
frequently as
literally rock
possible
hard.
for even more damage.
Yeah.
If you'd rather a little more fisticuffs,
I'd like
we've got
a
a
little bit more
banger
fisting,
of a
please,
Hollow
Mark.
Palm technique build for you here. If you didn't know, Hollow Palm technique is a keystone on the regular passive tree that turns your fists into weapons in their own right. So it's perfect for martial artists.
Yeah, so what are you going to do to it?
This particular build uses Staggering Palm's avalanche of projectiles to power up its whirling assault, and also gets great use out of Way of the Mountain thanks to how much it stuns enemies. But the centerpiece of the build is Hollow Form, and the huge benefits it gets from power charges. While clearing, we can rely on Killing Palm's
It's a
inbuilt
channeling
power
skill
charge
that looks
generation.
good.
But what to do about bosses? Well, we've made sure Killing Palm can handle those too. With Culmination and Aelith's Chimes providing a power charge engine,
Yes.
and Martial Adept cranking it into overdrive.
Yes.
Which means, when a boss crosses your path, you can
No,
just
you do more damage than this.
this.
It's pathetic. Do more.
It is clear to see the martial artist is a well-disciplined powerhouse. So, which path will you choose? Decide for yourself on May 29th when Return of the Ancients launches. Thanks for watching, and see you then.
Oh. Oh my god. Yeah, that looks so good. Like, we're gonna watch it again. Milk missed the first minute and he asked me if I'd watch it again. But like, thoughts, feelings, like the amount, to me, the amount of clones that were out there, like, that's scalable. That's that many clones. If you can get enough damage on them, that's scalable damage, right? I mean they were showing it right there, and I guarantee they weren't using endgame gear. Like, do you know what I wish? I wish I wasn't missing League Start. That's what well, no, I don't wish that, because I'm going to go and get absolutely fucking blitzed in Amsterdam for 3 days. But fuck, I'm a bit jealous that you boys are gonna. Well, do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna come back and then you guys can tell me what to do, rather than the other way around. You can be like, "Farm, that League Starter of yours was a bit shit because we had to do this, this, and this." But hopefully, I can produce a video where I give you guys enough information about all the things I think we need to test. No, I want the spoilers. I'll make a video where I list out all the things I think are worth testing. And then you guys can test it instead of me. It'll be free. It's Hollow Palm. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. What do you mean? What do you mean? I want the spoilers. You should take... I don't want survey. I'm like, ignore Chris. Trade it for a reach around. So I'll start Monk if I get on there. Yeah, people are thinking Monk now, right? God, should we have one more watch through? Go on. So one more watch through. It was pretty hype.
The dreamer showed me a path. But through discipline and training, I have forged my own.
In Return of the Ancients, we're adding the third ascendancy class for the monk, the martial artist.
I know, Lee.
The martial artist took his training into his own hands and has spent decades mastering his proficiency.
Lee, it's my nephew's stag do. I can't miss that. I've only got one nephew. I don't get invited to the niece's hen do's. I've only got one nephew, so can't miss that. I will, dude. I'll theory craft you one. Don't worry. There's not enough changes to Invoker or Monk that I think I can theory craft you one into this as well, but it'll be a bit more. I'll make a video.
See,
that will be what I focus on over the
techniques.
next week, is making sure
Building
that
his
video is
body
good.
into the ultimate weapon. The monk may still walk the dreamer's path, but the martial artist redefines how. Mostly by punching things very hard.
Yeah, this it does.
Let's take a look at what he has to offer, starting with his exclusive skill.
You know, he's been... See, he got himself into Warhammer recently. He came around my house the other day. He never comes around my house. Hasn't been around my house for about 6 years. Turned up at my house the other day. He was like, can I borrow your entire Warhammer army, please? I was like... Right. So, the martial artist
Hollow
is looking very
focus
good.
rings a
Kevin
death
Hart.
knell for your foes.
I've got Death Guard.
Ethereal bells constantly appear around you, and hitting them causes them to shatter with a powerful shockwave. These bells can always be killed and are always primed
This
for
is a
stun,
really bad
so
showcase
using them
of
with
this skill,
Killing
by the way.
Palm and Staggering Palm is ultra useful. These bells are also always
The
critically
ghost spells,
hit.
I think, are bait.
Why
I
does
actually
that
think
last
they're
bit
bait
matter?
from how they've shown them in that
Hollow
showcase.
Resonance thrives on critical hits. The final step for the bell-centric part of the martial artist is strapping a bell to your back.
Yeah, this will be my
which will
third
ring
time going
out
there, Lee.
whenever you critically hit an enemy, delivering damage around you.
When they're once for my
Both of these bell skills
my
are also
ex-wife,
quite good at stunning.
When they're for my
which will
dad's
come in
60th
handy later.
birthday, and then again now.
If you prefer keeping your distance from the fray, Hollow Form lets your astral projections do the dirty work for you. While channeling, you constantly spawn clones of yourself that
there's a
attack
whole
with
bunch of new
skills of your
crafting
choice.
options that are very exciting.
You can
for just
also
overall
spend
firepower.
power charges to spawn triple the clones for maximum damage and maximum ruckus. And for the three of you who are thinking, but what about shapeshifting? Enjoy your
That's not good,
meditating
Silas.
wolf. Of course, the martial artist has plenty to offer besides new skills, such as taking pride in his Ezomite training by
Runic
tattooing
Meridians
runes
might be
into
bait.
his flesh. Runic Meridians gives you 5 extra rune sockets to play with. Perfect for all the new runes you can find in the Runes of Elder
No,
League.
no.
By tattooing runes into his flesh. Runic Meridians gives you 5 extra rune sockets to play with. Perfect for all the new runes you can find.
Perfect for all the new runes you can find. I thought this was limited to basic runes. That's nuts. That's fucking potentially... What the fuck? Ah, you're not old, dude. I'm the wrong side of 35. Don't worry. Don't worry. Attract a certain clientele on this channel. We're all the same. Don't worry. That is huge, man. That is massive. Yeah. This is some big power here.
Find in the Runes of Elder League.
I'm an undercover mid-range player.
If you want to focus on
So
chaining
that's how I
together
felt,
attacks,
22, be young.
Martial
What you saw.
Adept and Martial Master are tailor-made for you, generating massive amounts of combo to spend on things like these, and protecting you while you do it.
Yeah.
Remember how I mentioned being good at stunning might come in handy? Way of the Mountain covers you in a stony carapace when you immobilize enemies. The stacks are easy come, easy go, but provide massive benefits, causing your attacks to deal a lot more damage, and reducing the damage you take from smaller hits to a tickle. Last, but certainly not least, let's put on some...
I am going to say this. So there's been 3. So many people said to me these aren't going to change the lines on unique gloves when I put that video out. And I was like, it's bullshit. Of course they are. Yeah, 5 unique armor runes, man. There could be some crazy stuff in this.
Nice normal gloves.
This is mad.
Wait, what the heck are these?
What the fuck are those?
Way of the Stone Fist transforms any gloves you equip into fists of stone until you take them off. These gloves grant truckloads of evasion and energy shield, but more importantly, they transform the explicit modifiers on the gloves you equip, and yes, it works on every...
I'll tell you what, right? I from a developer's perspective, I can see why it's taken them such a long time to get this out, because they are actually giving a lot of the ascendancies a unique way of interacting with the game that is actually unique to that ascendancy, which means they need to code. All of the bosses need to be able to work as beasts. All of the gloves need to have these special lines, right? And there's only so much they can automate, because otherwise it would be boring if they didn't. If this is great, this is great. This is the sort of individuality and specialism that comes from playing an ascendancy. If I'm playing this ascendancy, I'm going to be looking for these things. Like, this is cool, man.
Everything. This, that.
Oh hell yeah! Cats dust, yeah.
And yep, even
this is
these.
awesome.
Needless to say, there's a lot to discover about this one. So that's what the class can do, but how does it come together in practice?
All over the
We've got a couple
board.
of in-game builds to show you to demonstrate the might of the martial artist. First up, this...
1 second to get on the beer. I'm going to have that illustrious beer number 6.
Snowbound Executioner wields a big staff, bells, and a very well-toned body to ice out his foes. Shattering Palm and Herald of Ice mow down packs of enemies and continuously trigger the shockwaves of both our bell skills.
Fuck!
Because we're constantly freezing enemies, we're generating lots of Mountain's teaching stacks to keep the damage flowing and protect us while clearing. And we're also taking full advantage of Way of the Stone Fist with this monstrous pair of gloves.
Dude, this looks fucking sick. This
Against
looks so
tougher
good.
targets, we switch to Ice Strike and deploy even more bells per second with a temper spell.
Bells per second.
Our
That's what I
cooldown
wanna
reduction
hear.
also allows Hollow Resonance to trigger as frequently as possible for
This
even
is
more
nuts,
damage.
man. This is like 0. It's
If you'd
almost
rather a
0.1
little more
levels of fun.
fisticuffs, we've got a banger of a Hollow Palm technique build for you
Bells
here.
per second. Let's go.
If you didn't know, Hollow Palm technique is a keystone on the regular passive tree that turns your fists into weapons in their own right, so it's perfect for martial artists. This particular build
Hell
uses
yeah.
Staggering
Hell yeah,
Palm's
everybody.
avalanche of projectiles to power up its whirling assault, and also gets great use out of Way of the Mountain thanks to how much it stuns enemies. But the centerpiece of the build is Hollow Form, and the huge benefits it gets from power charges. While clearing, we can rely on Killing Palm's inbuilt power charge generation.
Like, I'm just gonna take that back. But like, channeling skills are normally shit. But
Whirling Assault.
like,
and also gets great use out of Way of the Mountain, thanks to how much it stuns enemies.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lock my
But
name
the
in.
centerpiece of the build is Hollow Form, and the
Like,
huge benefits it
look at
gets from
that.
power charges.
That's a
While
channeling
clearing,
skill that's just
we
like
can rely on
deleting
Killing
the
Palm's
screens.
inbuilt power charge generation. But what to do about bosses? Well, we've made sure Killing Palm can handle those too. With Culmination and Aelith's Chimes providing a power charge engine, and Martial Adept cranking it into overdrive.
Yeah,
Which means when a boss crosses your path, you can just do this.
So Colonel Go Hard. So what they're doing is they're channeling all of these monks, and there's like 3 monks appearing, and they're all doing Whirling Assault at the same time. So all of these fucking huge Whirling Assaults are crossing over each other, and the boss is like chunking down by like millions of health. It's pretty cool.
It is clear to see the martial artist is a well-disciplined powerhouse. So, which path will you choose? Decide for yourself on May 29th
I've
when Return
decided.
of the
I'd already
Ancients
decided
launches.
I was going to play it no matter what.
Thanks for watching, and see you then.
All right, so over the weekend,
Fellas,
I'm
I have a confession.
going to theory craft. Over the weekend, I'm going to theory craft. I'm going to theory craft a monk with this skill set. There's some definite changes that are coming in, and actually, let's jump into the early access and the patch notes. So, Tempest Bell. So I think one of the let me jump ahead. There's okay. So there's 2 things I want to talk about quickly when it comes to this build that I know were in the patch notes. So the first one, Tempest Bell can now be ancestrally boosted as though it were a strike skill. So ancestrally boosted strikes get cast multiple times when they are ancestrally boosted. But I think it's 2 times. So with one of the supports that gives you the ancestral boost, you should be able to guarantee putting 3 bells down every time you need to put down bells. That's going to be one of the big changes. The other one that looks good, and I think will give us another one-shot, the fact that Falling Thunder isn't in here with a reduction is crazy, but if Gathering Storm, which now blows up the bells and does like a massive amount of burst damage, if you're getting that shit with a perfect hit off on 3 Tempest Bells, potentially with Ghost Bells or with preset Clone Bells, I think there's going to be some boss one-shots here that are quite easily achievable without massive character investment, providing that things don't massively change on the boss health. So I think Monk's actually going to be a really, really good league start, and I'm going to try and theory craft something as best I can for you guys. But yeah, like, it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. Maybe you could get all the clones to do some AoE Falling Thunders. Just maybe. Was a potential. Anyway. Yeah, Gemling could be good, but I think Monk's got a lot to play with. Especially with those gloves. It was good to see that the gloves are going to have unique lines for being unique, which gives a lot of potential flavor and a lot of potential things to explore, which is very, very good. But I think what I'm going to do, guys, because I've had the magical 5 numbers of beers, is I don't think we need to go over the patch notes, but tomorrow I'm going to look at. Honestly, I think I'm going to do a stream where I'm sober. We're going to go through these patch notes with regards to the Invoker League start. We've got all the information we need now to make some good choices about the martial artist. And we'll see if we can come up with like a rough plan for a good league start that will get you a no-cost Hollow Palm start. So you're not looking to actually have to spend divines on a quarter staff or anything like that. Everything can go investing into defense. And hopefully the sort of build that on league start will be able to get you guys through the pinnacles. And yeah, I think that'll be our plan tomorrow. I might have a couple of beers after we've finished. So sorting out that, you know, build guide and that, but do that a bit sober. Maybe MS Paint. I might use one of the sites like Mobilytics that, you know, where I've got my build guides, and we'll just maybe take some notes there, and then you guys can go follow it, and I'll keep updating it for the next week. But guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm really glad they released the martial artist stuff. I'm really glad that's what we got to see last for tonight. And tomorrow we'll start with some big thoughts about what we think that can do. I think it's already quite obvious that it's going to be very, 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 very strong, especially with Gathering Storm and the changes to Tempest Bell. But it's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you all a good night. I'll catch you tomorrow.